Welcome to the prelim final of the 2025 Gilley Shield between New South Wales and South Australia. We'll run you through the New South Wales defensive lineup to start the game. In the middle is Kendra Lamb. Behind the dish, Rachel Lack. Over at first base is Jenna Trim. Playing second base is Alyssa Miguel. Third base, Shaylin Watman. Over at shortstop is Stacey McManus. Playing left field is Isabel Hanna. At centre field, Michelle Cox. Right field, Shannon Keevers. And the DP, Brianna Young. With on the bench to start with Maddie Baker, Mia Gilmore, Chantel Ladner, Grace Rickson, Riley Arnott, and Angelique Iredale. As we turn over the South Australian hitting lineup, leading off Reagan Diaz, playing centre field. Olivia Elliott at left. Brianna Marcelino at second base. Neely Peterson behind the dish. Jess Rode playing right field. Maddie Scott at shortstop. Charlize Callahan over at the hot corner third base. Georgia King at 1. And Jade Jensen as the DP for the starting pitcher for South Australia, Lexi Kilfoyle. Got Shane Goodall and Cody Smith with me here in the box. Cody, how do you think this one's going to play out?
Oh, it's definitely the two better teams that have stood out so far. Obviously being the 1 and 2 game. South Australia just playing an 8th inning thriller, so they're coming straight off that game into this one with only a short period of rest. So looks like both aces on the mound for both teams.
So Reagan Diaz will step into the batter's box to start this game off. As you said, the top two teams so far in this week's Gilley Shield action. New South Wales, 11 wins, 1 loss. South Australia, 9 wins and 3 losses. Today, the blue crew that we have, Stuart Tyler behind home plate. Kendra Lamb just starts one off a little bit low. Don't get confused, that's Brett Tyler over at 1. Leith Roberts, the second base umpire. And over at 3, Debbie Grove. Not a bad little low rise in there from Kendra Lamb. As Rachel Lack turns around and just asks home plate umpire Stuart Tyler, where have you got that one, boss? Dropper to get Kendra Lamb into account there. Keep that height all day and she'll be really effective here. Reagan Diaz hacks, pop coming up. Jenna Trim's got room. Safely takes that. That'll be the first out for South Australia.
Good pitch from them. Being behind in the count there, 3-1. Coming back with that rise ball we've seen. Probably her best pitch in her arsenal. Likes to go to that one with a bit of count leverage and threw it there when behind in the count to try and induce a swing as well.
Now at the plate, the left fielder, Olivia Elliott. Hacks at the first pitch. That'll get over the top of the third base dugout. Yeah, Kendra Lamb, real power pitcher. And I think you're right there, Cody. She can have confidence to go to a rise ball in pretty much any count and either get some soft contact or a swing through. And then again, a couple of good drop balls that she's located early. Just round about the knees or just lower. No balls, 2 strikes here to Olivia Elliott. There's that good rise ball. Just getting up a bit more than Rachel Lack was probably expecting.
Plenty of noise being made by both dugouts so far. The South Australians on the first base side.
So yeah, it is one thing that I've taken as a reflection from this week's Gilley Shield. It's a lot of noise, a lot of hype, a lot of energy, some good chants as well that come in. Check swing, Stuart Tyler points down to 3. Debbie Grove says, yes, she did. So that'll retire Olivia Elliott. A strikeout and a foul out for South Australia in this first inning. Now stepping into the batter's box, though, second base, Brianna Marcelino. She played a lot of shortstop this week. It seems like South Australia have decided to flip the pivots around the other side for these finals.
Do you think that might have to factor in based on who's on the mound as well?
Yeah, it's a good point. And New South Wales also got a lefty option. So
you expect maybe with the power pitcher and Lamb a lot of late contact. Maybe something that's getting pushed to that right side of the diamond rather than the left, getting pulled.
I mean, having a look at a couple of the games as well, Maddie Scott's played a couple of positions, so obviously a little bit of a utility. Can have confidence in her in a couple of different spots as Marcelino swings at one of those power eyes balls from Kendra Lamb. Another good lifter from Kendra Lamb, and that'll do it. So a foul out over near first base and 2 strikeouts will retire South Australia in this top of the first. New South Wales head to the bottom of the first. Michelle Cox, Shannon Keevers, Jenna Trim. See there on the replay, Kendra Lamb got that rise ball really humming. Start the game off. You're always happy when your pitcher comes out with their strong pitches in the top of the first.
Yep, 2 strikeouts from 3 at bats. See, she's got both pitches up and down working. South Australians chasing early at some of those rise balls. Something to watch as we go on through the early stages of the game. Temperature here at Gels Park Waverley still 30 degrees, so there will be heat breaks after the 3rd and 5th inning. 5-minute break for both teams.
The heat break's really sensible. There's been a couple of games, though, where a team has been right in the middle of some momentum, and I'm sure they'd love to just keep it while it's hot. Pardon the pun.
Yeah.
But, you know, they've got to go sit down for 5 minutes and all the momentum sapped out of their game.
Yeah, if you're that team that's getting beat up a little bit, though, I'm sure you love the heat break.
You don't mind it.
Getting an extra bit of a breather.
First up for New South Wales is centre field, Michelle Cox. Just a little foul tip through to the glove of Neely Peterson for strike 1. Maddie Scott makes a tidy play from shortstop. So Lexi Kilfoyle working really quickly.
See here on the Spacequake replay, out of half, sends it across the shortstop. Sure-handed Scott sends that one over to first for the easy first out. She's been great defensively so far this week. Scott over at shortstop.
And a couple other spots too. Seen her play first base. And obviously a fair bit of 2 as well. So tell you what, you don't mind a very handy multiple position player in your lineup. You'll take them.
Super utility.
Super utility, I like it. Shani Keevers jams up as she tries to yank one around the corner, but it gets fouled into right field. So it'll take the count to 1-1.
Count now 1-1 on Keevers. Another pitch fouled back behind the catcher.
That's another thing that a coach would really like. You've got a lefty who can hit, but can also run and slap. And by run, can seriously run. Hardest thing about how do you defend against them? Do you bring the infield in? Do you have them sit back expecting the hit?
I've seen some serious displays of speed from Keevers in the previous games. One game might have been on the 3rd day of play. Keevers making a pretty routine single into a double. She sends that one over to the pitcher. Close play there. You can see Keevers getting out of the box pretty quickly on what should have been a routine play, made quite tight. You can see here on our Space Quake replay, moving through the left-handed batter's box. Tried to check her swing, but put ball in play. Got out of the box nice and quick. Good play from the pitcher there, and a nice stretch from the first baseman.
Hop it into the batter's box now for New South Wales is number 79, Jenna Trim. Takes a first pitch drop ball off the outside half of the plate.
A pitch down in the zone. Count 1-1 on Trim. Sure you could hear it picked up on our mics here in the commentary, the chants coming from the New South Wales dugout.
They'd have to practice them as well as practicing all their other skills too, wouldn't they?
Yeah, maybe on the rainy day, a whiteboard session and running through some chants.
Swing through from Jenna Trim on another good low drop ball from Lexi Kilfoyle. I think we've seen that as pretty much a steady diet so far. A lot of locating down in the zone. Another good one. It just sort of starts just around about that knee height. And if you start to go at it, before you know it, you'll be swinging at something on your shoelaces. So hitting count here for Jenna Trim. Goes hard at on the outside half, fouls it off.
That pitch coming in at 109. Bit of an effort ball there from the pitcher. So the count running full.
It's interesting, they got a little shake off before going to that pitch that misses, so obviously something that Kilfoyle wants to throw in those tight 3-ball counts. Stepping into the batter's box now, number 23, Brianna Young. Round about the top of the zone, but home plate umpire Stuart Tyler says just a bit up for me.
Consider the New South Wales team using the wristbands on offense, running through their signs. You can see between pitches, Young checking the sign and then looking to the left forearm.
Becoming a real big part of the game, whether it's in the college game, and we've even seen the Aussie Steelers in the men's international game use it for a little while as well. So as soon as it starts to trickle down into all levels of it.
Yeah, it's a tool probably first utilised in the college system, and the Australians sort of adopting it in their own way to be used over here. Just a way of keeping their signs coded, making it a little bit more difficult for the opposing teams to decrypt.
2 balls, 1 strike here to Brianna Young. Hard hit shot over the top of the infield, and that'll fall in. The 2 sisters will move up to 2-1. Which will then bring into the batter's box number 50, Stacey McManus.
See here on the Space Quake replay. Good piece of hitting. Doesn't have to do too much with it. Turns well. Sends it over to the left side of the diamond. No chance for an extra base for Trim.
Little shape on a surprise kind of bun, but laying off might just be one to see what the corners do early in the game here.
Very late shape as well, so not much action out of the corners.
Low and maybe a touch inside too to Stacey McManus. Another good low pitch out of Lexi Kilfoyle, but just not enough to catch the zone for home plate umpire Stuart Tyler. 2 ball, 1 strike count on Stacey McManus. Couple of runners, could be the first opportunity for New South Wales to plate a run. On the outside edge, Stacey McManus starting to move, checking the swing beforehand, but called strike. Levels the count at 2 apiece. Ground ball back to Brianna Marcelino. Makes the play over to 1. And so no run other side to close out the first. Prelim final 0-0 after 1 completed inning.
See here on the replay, that ball off the plate. McManus doing a good job of ranging over.
Brianna Marcelino playing the ball in enough that potentially if she's got the runner coming in her way, she could even collect an out by just having the runner be in her while she's fielding the ball. So a couple of different ways of getting out of that.
Some traffic early, but South Australia doing well to avoid any runs. See Millie Fidge down the right field line warming up. She's been warming up since the first pitch, just staying loose. Not too much intensity down there. Just making sure she is ready if called upon.
Both her and Lexi Kilfoyle managed to stay in the dugout the whole game earlier against Victoria, which went to 8. So I'm sure South Australian coach Ben Lucas is very happy with Ruby Fidge going through all 8 innings in that game earlier today, keeping his 2 frontline pitches fresh for this important prelim final.
Yeah, it's a big job that she did that last game. 8 innings. Not too sure of the pitch count, but to make it through 8 innings.
3 digits, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So Neely Peterson in the batter's box, the catcher for South Australia. Kendra Lamb looks down at the wristband for a sign. Really able to use both the top half and the bottom half of the zone well, Kendra Lamb. Big thing that helps with getting some of those swing-through strikeouts that we've seen already from her. The solid at-bat here from Neely Peterson, working her way to 3 balls, no strikes.
Lamb starting both the first and second inning with a 3-0 count on the leadoff hitter. 3-0. just up, and that'll be a walk to Peterson.
And again, there's that confidence in the rise ball, like a 3-0 count. Going to a rise ball, probably not expecting too much of a swing, but obviously New South Wales got the belief that Kendra can throw that for a strike in any sort of situation. Brings to the plate now South Australia's right fielder, Jess Rode. So no early bunt sign here, but maybe that might just be a little early bluff. Two strong pitchers who could very easily take this game all the way in a low-scoring duel. Again, laying off that rise ball. And Rachel Lack would just call time and come out and have a little bit of a chat.
Lack quite an experienced catcher, so just having some words with Lamb. Trying to find the zone, as we said last night, it's very important trying to get that first out. Rode will resume with a 2-0 count.
Which, with 4 balls straight to Neely Peterson just beforehand. Makes 6 in a row. Kendra Lamb snap back into the count here. There's that low rise.
Corners at their usual position, not too shallow. Third baseman in just a touch. Ball sent foul over the first base side. Count evening 2-2 on Road. You see on that overhead view, pivots back, corners even. A 2-2 pitch from Lamb. Popped up, straight back to her. Records the first out herself.
Sometimes that one goes up above your pitcher's head and everybody just thinks, do I go in and take it off them or do we let them have a shot at it?
You get a little bit nervous with the pitchers. You can see it still in the... Oh, did she creep out the circle? She did. Oh, no. Pitchers stay in
your circle.
Lamb doing well to catch that one.
Stepping in now is the shortstop, Maddie Scott. As second base umpire Leith Roberts moves right into just about the middle of our shot.
They've got a job to do. They don't care about our job, do they?
Yeah.
The 1-0 pitch from Lamb to Scott. Good swing there from Scott. Lots of intent. Even in the count, 1-1. Not too sure what happened behind home plate there. Umpire Stu Tyler stepping out for a second. Might just be confirming the count. And they resume. So 1-1. Scott running through on that one there. Ball in the dirt.
Good technical block from Rachel Lack. Ready to make sure Neely Peterson can't move up any further. And you were saying before about the depth of the infield. Shaylin Watman, third base, is definitely playing in a lot more with Maddie Scott in the batter's box. Good area from Kendra Lamb, but probably just a little out. Stacey McManus goes in, helps pick her pitcher up.
You see Watman in tight, but also guarding the line down third base. She's probably about a foot off the line.
Fouled off out the back. That'll bring the count full. crowd starting to build out here tonight at Gilley Park. Obviously with the home team in action after this. Maddie Scott, hard ground ball to Stacey McManus. Two hands safe with Stacey McManus, makes the play over to two to get Neely Peterson out. But the speedy Maddie Scott will always make it up to first base on that. And so now with two out, stepping into the batter's box will be third base, Charlize Callahan.
You can see on that one there, McManus doing a good job to read that hop. It kicked up a touch, got her body behind it, able to get that lead out. New South Wales with two outs in this inning. First pitch up on Callahan.
Callahan, one who you see on all the time on the OG Spacequake broadcasts over in South Australia. Port Adelaide Magpies stalwart.
I like the use of the term OG there from you, Shane.
Change up and battles it off. Yeah, we love Spacequake over here, but we do know that they are South Australia's, they're the originators in South Australia, so always got a shout out to South Australian Spacequake, Dave Muggleton and the whole crew.
We're just happy to have them down here for
Absolutely.
this Nationals at Gilley Park.
Pitch on the outside half to take the count to 2-1. Two and one off in a nice stealing count or a good running count. So maybe we'll see the Maddie Scott, the very quick Maddie Scott in action here. Strong hack from Charlize Callahan. Just not able to get on top of that Kendra Lamb rise ball.
One thing you might be hard to see from the camera angle there, but Callahan right at the front of the box trying to take a little bit of the movement away, it looks like, from that rise ball possibly. 2-2 pitch. Change up. A great one from Lamb with a third out of the inning.
You're right, Cody. Nowadays, with all the data analytics and everybody wanting to have every bit of info, you start seeing teams make strategic changes about what they do, even as early as top of the second. So, like we saw in the first, Kendra Lamb with a couple of swing-through strikeouts with that rise ball. And maybe South Australian head coach Ben Lucas has said, girls, let's get up the front and cut off some of that movement.
It's a game of adjustments, Shane. We head to the bottom of the second. Score remaining 0-0. Welcome back. Bottom of the second here in our 1v2 final. Second last game of our Saturday. Alyssa Mile, the second baseman, stepping in for her first at bat. Pitch in there for a called strike.
Lexi Kilfoyle owning the first half of this at-bat, really locating his pitches where she wants. Could have pitched it. Alyssa Mile, soft check swings, and now pokes to second base. A little underhand pump fake from Brown and Marcelino, but they make the play over at 1. So South Australia get the lead-off hitter. And it'll now bring third base, Shaylin Watman, into the batter's box.
Watman at the back of the batter's box. Right-hand hitter. Hitting 7 today in the New South Wales lineup. Watches ball 1 down.
Another good locator from Lexi Kilfoyle. Just sort of motioning, is that down? And then gets a little nod of acknowledgement from her catcher, Neely Peterson. But definitely looks to have control of where she wants to throw it.
Yeah, she's locating well. That's exactly where she wants that pitch. Again, very similar spot there. Swung through from Watman. That's a pitch that often gets swung at, if not called. So Watman doing well to lay off the first 2. Count now 2-1 with 1 away. Pitch again, similar spot. Down, ball 3. So hitters count here for Watman.
Definitely seems like it's part of their planning. And I'm sure there's probably also a little bit of scouting over many games during the week about where they want to throw, specifically to somebody in the middle of the New South Wales order like Shaylin Watman.
That's 5 straight down balls from Kilfoyle, so it's clearly something premeditated that they've gone in with, something they've seen out of perhaps Watman's swing, or pitches she tends to offer at or lay off. So the full count pitch. Same pitch again. Sent back up the middle. Kilfoyle fires over to 1. Second out of the inning.
Love that from your pitcher. Some quick reflexes, stab the glove down and take that as we see on the Spacequake replay. Picks it cleanly, makes a nice steady throw. Now in the batter's box is the catcher, Rachel Lack. Which Rachel is one who can be stepping into scoring position when she steps into the batter's box, especially at a park like Gels Park where fences are not the deepest.
220 all the way around.
Aggressive swing, but Lexi Kilfoyle still working almost exclusively with the drop ball. Another swing, and that'll do it. South Australia in the bottom of the second, working through the New South Wales lineup in order. Again, good movement on that drop ball from Lexi Kilfoyle. Starts at what looks like a really good hittable height and just takes the dive. Never easy.
After 2 complete, score remaining 0-0. South Australia, no hits. New South Wales, 1.
Leading it off for South Australia in this top of the third is first base, Georgia King.
King hitting 8th in the South Australian lineup, her first at bat of the night.
Maybe a bit of a loosener for Kendra Lamb, that first pitch there.
Good line and length.
This is a ball sneaks into left field from
Now
from the bullpen down
I
there.
think Michelle Cox needing her sunnies.
Ah.
She got them hand delivered to her from the left field line.
So Kendra Lamb leans back, fires. Not bad looking pitch. Must be just in though. Good height on it from Kendra Lamb.
King last game against Victoria, 1 for 4. Scoring 1 run as well for her team. Hitting 4th last game, moving down to the 8th spot here in this game. So 3rd straight inning. Lamb falling behind 3-0 on the leadoff hitter. Something to watch there, Shane, as we get into the later innings.
Sure, if it happens again, you'll be all over it for me, Cody. I haven't really paid that much attention to some of the counts first up.
I got you, mate. That's what I'm here for.
You go. There's that good rise ball Kendra Lamb loves to throw. And again, another situation where in a 3-ball count, happy to go to it. So it brings the count full. 3-2. Hard hit shot, Georgia King. Well foul, but on it nice and early. Squared it up, wrapped it around the corner. Good locator from Kendra Lamb. And the strikeout looking on the edge of the plate will retire Georgia King. You see here. Good job. Little bit of downward movement on it too. Stepping into the batter's box is the DP, Jay Jensen. Takes first pitch strike. Sure, Jade will have a bunch of knowledge about what all the New South Wales pitchers will throw. Chases that one. Another good rise ball out of Kendra Lamb.
Jensen in her 4 at-bats last game against Victoria. 0 for 4, 1 strikeout. Hitting in the 9th spot here for South Australia. Her first at-bat, trying to turn it over to her lead-off hitter. Called strike 3 on the outer half. Jensen watching for strike 3. Another good pitch from Lamb there, freezing the hitter. And that'll turn the lineup over to Diaz.
Might even have been that same, maybe a little bit of change of pace to that one, but both those strikeouts looking to start this inning on the outside half, so I'm sure that will be Rachel Lack and Kendra Lamb's go-to from here on out, working on that outside edge. Reagan Diaz flies one in the left. Taken safely by Isabel Hanna. So that'll retire South Australia there in the top of the 3rd. New South Wales will bring it to the bottom of the 3rd. So Isabel Hanna, who took that catch, she'll be the first hitter up. Sometimes it can be just the thing that you need. Get yourself in the game, make a nice little tidy play, and then go head out and be the leadoff.
Lamb so far in her 2 innings. 5 strikeouts. Sorry, in her 3 innings. 5 strikeouts, 1 walk, no hits, no runs.
Always happy with that as a performance if you're the coach.
Good start, getting plenty of swing and miss. Freezing some of the hitters and getting some soft contact. A little bit of rain rolling in here, it looks like, at Gels Park. A couple of light sprinkles. I'd say good thing we're under the gazebo, but we're sitting right in between the two of them, so...
That's good. Hot week, the farmers need it, I reckon.
Yep.
They could do it with a little bit of a sprinkle.
So Hannah will lead this bottom of third off for New South Wales, the 9-spot hitter. Sends that one down the first base line. Pitcher will take it, and a quick flick over to first base, and she records the out. It's a great play there from Kilford, getting out of the circle nice and quick and firing that one over there from a low position. You can see here on the Spacequake replay, sent up the first base line. The two come together, but it is the pitcher who takes it. And almost a little bit of a stutter step there from Hannah to try and figure out which foot's going to hit the orange base.
I think that could have been part of the decision-making process from first base umpire Brett Seiler.
You see the rain really coming down here. Someone turned the tap on.
It's come very quickly, almost out of nowhere. It's almost like both the two very close plays at first base from slappers have both been ones that have come right off the end of the bat. Very hard to defend. Well, you know what they say about Melbourne. You've got to bring all types of jackets, T-shirts, hats, everything, because you could just get rain out of nowhere, and it looks like that's what we have. A little bit of a downpour right now. Brandon Marcelino just not able to come up with that one, so potentially we might see some of this rain starting to play a little bit of a havoc with slippery ball or something taking a bit of a different bounce than what it has done all week. And Michelle Cox reaches first, so New South Wales will have Shannon Keevers come up to the plate. So Ben Lucas will come out, have a chat to Stuart Tyler, who will bring his crew together, have a little bit of a discussion about this rain.
Is starting to stay consistent. You can see there is some blue skies just out to the right of us, up and above right field, so it shouldn't be too long of a shower. And it looks like we are going to push through. That play definitely looking like the wet ball played a factor as she manages to regather the ball, and it just slips away as she goes to make that throw. So
does only look like a small little band that should pass very quickly on the radar. And it is one thing that we're used to, predicting how long the little rain shower will last for, because we are quite used to them. So Shannon Keevers in the batter's box. Michelle Cox at 1. Offers at the bunt. Shannon Keevers goes with the slap this time. Fouls it back, and South Australia will move up to 2 strikes on Shannon. Starting to ease just a little bit. Chopper over the top of the pitcher's head, but Brandon Marcelino could basically stand on 2 and wait for the ball to come to her. So Michelle Cox will be forced out at 2. But Shannon Keevers as the runner at 1 is definitely no downgrade on pace, so New South Wales still in a good aggressive spot with the number 3 hitter, Jenna Trim, in the batter's box.
Trim with a walker first time up. Only walk allowed by Kilfoyle. First pitch in there for strike one. Again, that drop ball that we've seen a couple times so far in the first pitch of the at-bat. That pitch gets away from the catcher and Keeves will move up to second base.
Could see the wheels in effect there. Shannon Keeves was at 2 before the ball had even been picked up. Maybe have a little bit of a rounder the corner. Jenna Trim grounds one over to second base. Brandon Marcelino safe and sound with the glove. Gets it over to 1. And that'll be the third out of the inning. So New South Wales get a base runner on. Can't do too much other than that. And so now, after 3 innings, kind of ironic, we'll have a heat break while we're getting covered by a bit of rain.
Great call from you there, Shane. You can see the rain starting to ease, the temperature still remaining pretty similar. Typical Melbourne, raining during the heat break.
Also, there's going to be a puddle on top of the thing, so just be careful with those.
So our 5-minute heat break, pseudo rain break is now over. We will resume.
It's still hot and it's still raining. Kendra Lamb coming in for her 4th inning of work here.
And the batter in the box, Olivia Elliott.
Elliott a strikeout swinging in her first at bat. First pitch down for a ball.
One thing we know about this Waverley field is it can do with plenty of water, so the field will hopefully still keep playing nice after a little shower on it. Called strike by home plate umpire Stuart Tyler.
Yeah, the boys on the grounds crew watering this Waverley field after each game. Might not have to after this one.
Yeah. Looked like a good locator from Kendra Lamb, but just not for Stuart Tyler.
You see the infield, no shift applied.
And that one probably just high.
Type your name there. Type your name in there.
Count now 3-1. Lamb to Elliott. Good swing on that pitch. Just getting past the barrel there. Good swing from Elliott. The count will run full.
These two at the top of the lineup for South Australia, both Reagan Diaz and Olivia Elliott, both pack a lot of power in their swing. But then we've got lefties who are also really quick doing the bases, so good blend, power and speed. Shot over into the grass and picked up cleanly by Isabel Hunter in left field. So South Australia get the lead off on, which will bring to the plate now the second base player, Brianna Marcelino.
It's the first hit of the ball game there for South Australia. That one being sent out to left field. Good piece of hitting. McManus tried to jump up. Didn't have a play on it.
Whilst they will get the balls changed over pretty regularly, a couple of those shots onto the grass will make it difficult for the outfielders having to make a throw in. So Brianna Marcelino takes first pitch down here from Kendra Lamb. Hacking hard and straight up over the top of the back net.
A strikeout swinging in her first at bat also. Hitting the 3 spot today.
As you can see from this angle, the rain coming down quite hard. Well gloved by Rachel Lack. Having a look down at Olivia Elliott at first base.
New South Wales head coach Kerry Porter coming out and asking home plate umpire, is it enough rain yet? And I think the Blues will converge and ask each other the same question.
It's kind of funny. It always seems to be the defensive coach that thinks there's a problem with how much rain there is.
There's your rainbow shot.
Beautiful shot there from Murray. See the rainbow behind centre left field.
It's a double rainbow.
Look at that. There you go.
All the way around.
Beautiful. So play will cease for the time being, with the rain just getting a little heavier here this defensive inning. See, there was some blue sky out at right field before. It's starting to fade away now into a little bit of some darker clouds. The umpire's just leaving the diamond for a brief moment.
It seems like seems like it's also a little bit of, as those clouds have moved across, it's now got the sun right in the eyes of the defence.
Yeah,
So as our weather keeps happening to change on us, we've got heat breaks, rain breaks, sun breaks, all within the space of about 10 minutes of each other.
You know who would be good to get on the commentary in a time like this? Jane Bunn.
Yeah.
Little forecast.
Get a meteorologist on and tell us what's actually happening. La Nina or El Nino? Which one are we in at the moment?
I couldn't tell you. One of them's been for 3 years and the other one, I don't know. We go through cycles.
Grounds crew have even got their tarp out as well, so...
That's not a good sign. It's not a heavy tarp, however, so it looks like just a little bit of protection, nothing sort of permanent.
Clearly, I can tell you that I'm not the meteorologist, as I had a look at the radar, said it should be blowing over in about 5. And now we've got the tarps out.
One of the only jobs. You can be wrong.
No consequences.
No consequences. It's a prediction. So just a little bit of coverage on the pitching plate and the batter's boxes over home plate.
Whilst these volunteers are out there, we'll just give them a little shout out. We've got Matt Hutchison, Lani Rigg, Scott Dean, and that guy with the hands on the hips supervising the whole thing, Bernie McDonald.
He does his job well, doesn't he? He supervises quite well. I think more the sun playing a factor here rather than the rain at this point. The shot coming, or the rain being somewhat mild, easing up, but the sun pointing directly from behind the catcher into the pitcher's eyes. So that's probably more the precaution here, is the safety of the infielders and the pitcher. Want the fielders to have enough time to react on a batted ball. So only a small cease in play. This is usually affecting the 7:30 time slot. Not as much the 5:30 time slot.
That's one thing we say when we normally play out here, when the sun comes down. He goes, if you don't want the sun in your eyes, don't look at it.
I wish it were that easy, Shakes. It's usually the second baseman that it affects on this diamond here, more than any other infield position.
Doesn't sound pleasant. Also, if you're going to be right next to the commentators, we're going to hear everything they're saying. But can they move to the other side where the scorers are, or whatever they are?
Shane just tagging out to go and fetch his camera from centre field. Hopefully it's not too waterlogged. You can see him out there on the centre field fence line. A couple of different cameras from different teams scouting these final games before we head into the remainder of our final series. I'm sure the coaches tonight, after the games have finished, will be looking through some of that film and seeing what they can get on other opposition teams. Some tendencies of the batteries, the pitcher and catchers. What pitches they might like to throw in particular counts. Also some information on the offense as well, some tendencies of the hitters. Pitches they like to hit, pitches that might be of a weakness to them, but that team can exploit on defense. So the analysts, scorers and coaches will be hard at work tonight. This game halfway through the 4th inning before rain and sun combination halting play. The game to follow this one will be the 3v4. Queensland in the 3rd position, Victoria in the 4th. scheduled to start at 7:30, but after the late start here and also now the delay, we'll try and get you a start time as soon as we find out, and once that's made official. Umpires still convening under the gazebo behind home plate. Chief groundsman Brownie out there in the middle looking at his field. I think he likes what he sees as well, Shane. They've done some very hard work this week in between each game, prior to play in the morning before the players and teams get here, and also long after the last game is finished, making sure these grounds are up to scratch and in the best possible position for our players.
Now, rain delay shenanigans. What's your favourite? See the old, often the shoulder jousting wars, or a little dance battle or something? What's your favourite in the rain delay breaks?
I don't know. We like to play a couple of different games in our dugout. I know you've seen in the past. I think the New South Wales team might be doing that on our left here, playing some of those games. Oh, the Bucks boys like to play some of those little ones.
Our favourite is the musical instruments.
Yes, I love that game.
Picks up a bit of pace, and half the time you're thinking, oh, when it comes to me, I'm going to send it to somebody else, and you miss your turn, you can't even get involved.
It's a bunch of different games. Is it actually called softball, that game where you point across the circle?
Yeah.
Strike and foul ball? Yep. Another classic.
It's always one of those when you go play with another team and they've got their games and you've played something similar and you've got to put the old game out the back and adapt to some new rules.
It's like Uno. Everyone comes in. Can you put +4s on +4s? Can you put +2s on? No.
Draw 2 on a draw 4?
Yeah, exactly. So it's those kind of ones you got to iron out the kinks. How each player from around the country and around the world play, and then get into it.
Yeah, house rules.
Always takes a while to wrap your head around a new game. Regardless of how simple, it'll always take you 10 minutes. And a lot of... Go again. Explain that one again.
I swear last time you said it was 7 on the 9, not 9 on the 7.
Yeah, correct. It sounds like they might be playing musical instruments to our left. We've got a blind up, so we can't quite see.
The cadence of that beat.
Yeah, I can tell that beat from anywhere.
If you were taking a look at the New South Wales lineup, who do you think is going to be the musical instrument superstar?
I'm not too sure. I reckon maybe some of the veterans in the team, McManus, have played a couple of games of musical instruments in her time on the New South Wales team.
I'd be taking a bet on Brianna Young, I reckon.
Shane taking the headset off, looking like he's going to investigate the game. Are we all right, Shane?
Just like we said, I think it's a little variation on musical instruments because you can hear them going 3-3-1-1, and then the person who's got the 1 goes 1-1-4-4. Oh, so
a number variation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always liked the musical instruments because everyone has their own little instrument. Everyone has their part to play in the band.
And how they do their little action for it. So if you're the flute, are you up nice and high and fingers playing all the different notes, or you play it down low and try and trick somebody with somebody else's instrument?
The DJ, a classic variation. You can see here the tarps looking like they're starting to come off. The rain has ceased for now, but the sun still being the primary factor behind home plate, looking towards the diamond, into the pitcher's eyes. So it looks like we might be here till that sun actually does go down. We can see a lot of supporters heading under the pavilion for a bit of shade, but also a bit of rain relief.
Probably also the closest spot to the bar too.
Yes. The Waverley Canteen and Bar staff doing a great job so far this week, putting in countless hours. Obviously all volunteers as well, so I know we've mentioned it every stream, but we can't mention enough how important the contributions are of that team. both in the grounds but also the canteen and bar. Now, I know we mention this quite often, personally, but not on the stream. Go-to canteen item?
I mean, even before on the grounds, Mike, just gave it a shout out. The Waverley potato cake is unbeatable.
It's unbeatable. I think I put it in my player profile when I played for Waverley. Oh, it's probably going back 5 years for State League. Shouting out the Waverley potato cake. Nothing beats it. I don't know what they do in there, but they just get it consistent every time. There's no variance.
Did you guys start the Peninsula Rays because they wouldn't include any potato cakes in your player contracts?
Yeah, exactly.
Start renegotiating at the end of your contract. Say, I need at least 3 potato cakes every week. Otherwise, I'll start my own team.
There was no bueno, so had to pack it up and move on. Now, they often the canteen shut early on the Thursday nights with preparations for the weekend. So, no potato cakes. No Cody. I'm sorry.
Here's a new game that we've brought into our rain delay roster. Call it the rhyme game.
The rhyme game.
And how it works is you pick a celebrity or you pick someone that you know. So it's like the example would be Brad Pitt. You go, he doesn't have any desire to keep doing it. That's Brad Quit.
Ah, yes. I have heard. I've seen this game on TikTok. Is this a TikTok variation?
Yeah, it's a little bit of a TikTok game. The next one would be Brad's always in the gym. That's Brad Fit.
Ah. Well, when he gets in the Bradders box, he gets the Brad hit.
Yeah, he does.
Yes. I like that one.
Got about a second to think of your next rhyme.
Yeah, you can't mess it up.
Like with some of the other games, somebody then goes and uses your word that you've got sitting in your head. Damn it, now
I've got
2 seconds to find of another rhyme and how it works with a little sentence beforehand. That game is a little bit split amongst our group.
Yeah.
There's 4 or 5 of the guys that really like it, and there's about 5 or 6 that don't like it.
Is this within the Bucks playing group?
Yeah, within the Bucks, part of our rain delay roster. But we always like to say the ones that are smart like this game, and the ones that don't have the on the feet thinking, they're the ones that hate it.
Let me guess one who doesn't like that game. Would Adam Tallarico be one of those members?
You've got it in one, Cody. Does not like this game. He actually isn't too bad at it. Once he gets into it, he starts to get a little bit of a feel for it. But biggest complainer when that game comes on.
Doesn't surprise me. Loves a whinge, Adam. Doesn't matter what it's about either. Got some of the members mentioning it's a potato scallop, not a potato cake. Now,
what state's that person from?
Typical John Hudson comment, New South Welshman. Now, Hutto, if you actually went and read the menu, mate, it is actually a potato cake as it's listed up there. So you can bring your personal beliefs over to the canteen, but they don't want to hear it, mate.
That's it. You're more than welcome to have whatever beliefs you like.
Absolutely.
Just don't impart it on me. I'm not going to call it a potato scallop if my life depended on it.
No, not in my book. And I mean, Waverley knows what they're selling, so they're not going to mislabel an item in that canteen.
Take a look at what it says on the purchase order. I reckon the purchase order would say
cake. Yeah, I reckon I'd say cake in there. I trust the staff up there more than I trust him. A good night of softball. Still plenty of innings here to come in this one after that sun goes down. Following this game, the Queensland-Victoria 3-4 matchup.
Elimination final.
And then tomorrow will be the winner of the next game, taking on the loser of this game for a spot in the grand final. The final to follow in the afternoon.
It's been really good to have the Gilleys back here in Victoria, where there's been a couple of junior nationals over the last few years, but to get some senior nationals on the women's side of things has been awesome.
Good for our supporters out on this side of Melbourne. We can see some from the other side of the city also travelling out here and supporting the Victorian contingent. some of the previous nationals getting played here. The 16s in the past. Going back probably 3 years, the under-23 men's were here.
Before it moved out to a couple of years over at Hume.
I like that ballpark out at Hume. I enjoy it. I know it's a long drive out there to Hume, and it's for our supporters to get out there. It's a big commitment, but they still show up. Obviously, having the 23 men's here a few years ago was a bit of a slugfest with the home runs, the 220 fences. Not often the men getting to play nationals with that short of a home run fence.
Definitely not a pitcher's ballpark.
No.
That's for sure.
No. Yeah, plenty of home runs.
Where Hume, quite the opposite.
Yeah, other way around.
Quite pitcher friendly. Can get a bit windy. It's
Lots of
set
wind
up
blowing
nice
in.
and high.
Yep.
And then deep 250-foot fences.
As
You
saw,
really
yeah.
got to hit it to get it out at Hume.
Yep. You see, yeah, the Hume, the pitcher ERAs quite thin.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas when you looked at it out at Waverley, a couple of inflated ERAs with the shorter fence. Plenty of home runs, but it made it interesting. Did you come out and watch that Nationals, Shane, that 23s?
At Waverley
Was
or
it
at Hume?
Out here? At
Yeah,
Waverley
came out
a
and
few
watched
years
a
back?
little bit of that one. A lot of the games over on Diamond 9, though, where they could... Did they set the fence up at 225 also on Diamond 9?
Yeah, it was very similar.
Yep.
Yep. Not as high.
Yeah, well, like I might say, that's going to.
Done some digging here, Shane, and I've found one of your highlights. You're actually calling one of our games against ACT.
One of my highlights, or...?
No, your commentary highlights. We're only talking about the commentary here. We're not talking about the game. Getting to call some of the home runs for the Victorians. This particular one against ACT, I believe the pitcher on the mound, Matthew Harrow.
Who might the hitter have been?
I can't quite make it out. It's a
bit of blurry footage. Yeah. Before we had Spacequake.
Yes, before Spacequake. It's hard to quite make out who the hitter is.
You make it the pre-Spacequake era and the post-Spacequake era.
Yes.
Kind of like live ball and dead ball baseball. You know, records from pre-World War II and post-World War II. If you can't make out who the hitter is, why is it saved in the favourites album of your phone?
I don't have an answer for you, Shane. It might just be because the getting a home run off a hitter like a pitcher like Matthew Harrow, it's quite a rarity. You don't often see those. So I thought I'd clip it up. Almost hit you on the full. You were out at centre field commentating.
It was coming directly at us. So we just had a note passed over to us by Kylie Bloodworth saying that the game will recommence at 8:20.
You know what that means, don't you?
Rain delay roster. What games do we go to?
Well, that's 40 minutes of us talking, Shane. These poor listeners.
People will have to subscribe to our podcast that we're going to form.
Yep.
40 minutes of Shane and Cody every week.
I feel like that's every bloke's conversation after a couple of quiet ones. We
Yeah.
should start a podcast.
Me and you, we're actually really funny. These other people that do a podcast, we're actually funnier than them.
100%. Our material, so much better.
Yeah.
And then, that day passes, you finally reconvene, sit down, pen and paper. What are we going to talk about?
I don't know.
Don't know, yeah.
You've got something funny, don't you?
Oh, I thought you had something funny,
Oh,
and then
no.
and then it got sort of dies, doesn't it?
Yeah. And then you left your career, left your family because you were going to start a podcast empire and no content for episode 1.
You've sold the car because you think you can use your Mikey to use the trams, get around. Bought a podcast setup. Now what?
What's it called? The Roadcaster 2? Bought a whole Roadcaster 2.
You've looked into this. You've looked into this because I know you know that brand name. We're still stuck on this potato scallop versus cake thing. I'm getting breakdowns on the definitions, the thickness, the thinness, what makes it a cake versus scallop.
This says exactly 1/8 of an inch. I tell you what, if you're going to start saying that it's 1/8 of an inch, I'm not listening to it anyway because you're using imperial measurements. So
no, I don't like that.
Potato cake for metric measurements, and if the requirement for it to be called a potato scallop is using the imperial system, I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, get out of here. And it certainly wouldn't have the measurement on the box. That's all I'm going to say. There's going to be some inconsistencies there naturally. It's good to see a lot of the supporters down last night for the clash between Victoria and Queensland. Obviously, we'll see the rematch coming up tonight, but plenty of spectators, young and old. We had the 23 men's team supporting from centre field, playing a nice little game of backyard cricket beforehand, Shane, about a 50-minute length game.
Anybody actually any talent at it?
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a good in-swinger from Will Cronk. Didn't know he had that on him. I mean, he had to apply half a roll of tape to the left side of the ball before getting there, but that's okay. It was quite impressive. Some good sure-handed catches. Bailey Dodds surprising us down at mid-off, taking a nice little perler.
Very nice. Now, the question for Will Cronk and the in-swinger, is it a roll of tape around the middle to form the seam and then horizontal lines around the ball? Or is it one continuous spiral that you start to get a little bit of too much excess at the end of the ball?
Yeah, it looks like one continuous roll. So it's some rookie stuff.
Yeah.
Clearly hasn't had a Christmas day, with Nan bowling out there at ya.
Just surely he's got like an older cousin or someone that could show him the ropes about how to make the true Australian homemade swing king.
Yeah. Everyone's done it. Every family's got one. That usually comes out on Christmas Day after the lunch feed.
And you get Nan to go in and have a bat and start your run up a little bit closer and just bend the back and dig it in short.
Put everything into it. Yeah, if she's going to stand and directly in front of the stumps, you're going to go at him.
Exactly.
Looks like both the teams from the dugout have sort of moved on into a bit of shade. Some going to grab a little bit of food in between. Just calming themselves down, switching off while they have the chance. Currently Diamond 1 and Diamond 9 not in use. It's the only game at this time slot.
So Waverley's got some slow upgrades for some of these lights as the Monash City Council works on its Gilles Park master plan. So the tower out in centre left for Diamond 1 has got 3 LEDs, but then some of the other towers still have some of the old halogen lamps. So once that eventually gets all changed over to the LEDs, then Diamond 1 up there will also be suitable for night games, but at the moment, with some of those old lamps, it's just not good enough to be able to play Nationals on.
I like that one on Diamond 1 over there, just behind the first base dugout. 3 different generations of lights on one pole.
I would say probably one from the 80s, one from the early 2000s.
And a new one.
One from the 2010s. So about that old one that's on there probably got 40 years of use out of it.
They've done well. It's still up there. It's the only one of its kind, if you can see here.
Surely it's close to retirement age as well.
Yeah.
Like, it can be given a proper send-off.
Yeah.
access its super and
Life membership nomination.
Yeah, life membership. It's actually a good suggestion. We should put that in the box,
100%.
in the suggestion box.
Yep.
Retire the first base light tower
Diamond
central light.
Oh, that's awesome.
Hang it in the Louvre.
Just a reminder to our viewers who are still with us, the estimated start time or the recommencement of this game will be 8:20 Victorian time. Still no estimation on the Queensland-Victoria game that will follow. Plenty of comments here on YouTube, Shane. Looks like we've got 470 active watchers. Looks like Diamond Side in the chat. YouTube, mate. YouTube.
I was just going to see if we could make sure we're on all digital platforms.
Ah.
But you're saying Diamondside Sporting Goods Incorporated
Yep.
in the chat?
Ian Little saying commentators deserve a potato fritter for holding over this break. Now, that's something we haven't heard yet. We've gone scallop
Fritter.
cake. We've got fritter that's now entered the mix. What differentiates each of the three there, Shane? I'm going to need some clarification.
I always considered the fritter that had been crumbed on the outside and then fried, because you could always go to your fish and chip shop and get a pineapple or a banana fritter. Nice little slice of pineapple or a banana or a half banana.
Yeah, so crumbed first is the key.
Or battered or something and then fried. I guess you could potato cake, potato fritter, in the sense that it has that already pre-existing batter on it. But
There's got to be a point of difference, though. We'll have to do some research. Ian commenting again, where'd the commentators go? They don't need a rain break. We're not going anywhere, Ian. We're sitting here for the duration of this pause in play while the sun is playing factor.
we might need a rain break if we still have this little lack of coverage from the gazebos, as you said, over the top of us.
Yeah.
We had to try and cram into a little bit of space that they had for all the cameras.
Yeah,
What's more important, all this electrical gear
Or us.
that Spacequake have, or us?
Well, I know where their priority is. That's not us,
It's not us.
unfortunately. So only 30 minutes until the recommencement of play here in the 1 versus 2 final of the Gilley Shield. Umpires are back in the umpires' room.
Statisticians are also taking a little bit of a break, probably just doing some hand exercises to make sure they don't get writer's cramp.
Yep. It's heavy work there with the different coloured pens.
Which of
transitions.
the three jobs would you want to be on as an official scorer? Do you want to be paper scorer? Do you want to be the technology scorer? Or do you want to be the spotter scorer?
I feel like spotter scorer because I'm watching the game
Yeah.
and I can give that interpretation of what's happened.
That's
I feel
it.
like I'd be pretty decent at being able to score the game.
Have you been the spotter scorer? Because you know the role. It's not necessarily so much about what goes into the book, more that the official paper scorer goes, "Oh, what do we think? Is it an error?
Yeah.
Or is
Yeah.
it, a
They
shot?
have
Is
that
it
little
a hit?
conversation between the three of them.
Pass ball, wild pitch. Always gets that little bit of interpretation.
Mm-hmm. You got your levels in scoring?
I actually said to Helen Edwards just before, as the scorers were getting their dinner served, if I pass the level 4 test right now,
Do I get dinner?
can I get dinner?
Yeah, lovely.
Helen actually said yes.
How long
We've
does that
also-
exam go for?
Oh, well, she said, you've got to also go do the level 1, the level 2, and the level 3
Oh, that's
one
not
first.
fair.
No, I can just go straight to level 4.
Yeah. Recognise prior learning.
Yeah, exactly. I think I'd do the technology scorer. A little bit of an iPad kid at heart, so
The dancing fruit.
get
on
me,
the iPad.
yeah. Coco Melon.
Yep. That seems just about right. Phone about 5 centimetres away from your eyes.
Yeah. Oh, here's another one that started in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
We've had serial offender John Hudson say Palmy. And
Palmy
we've
or
had
Palmer?
Alex Clayton. Oh, Clado who's in there with it. Need the Palmy and Palmer debate.
Yeah, look. Spelling-wise, the letter that comes after the M is,
Yes. I understand.
you know, I get
It does
that.
get spelt M-I. But
But
the
pronunciation
city
as well.
where it hails from is the city of Parma in northern Italy.
There you go.
I've just taken a guess at northern. I actually don't know if it's northern or southern Italy.
Okay.
But
Maybe just stick to what you know there. Okay. No, I feel like that pronunciation, you don't say it with the I.
Parma is a university city in Italy's Emilia-Romagna region, famed for Parmesan cheese and Parma ham. Romanesque buildings, including the frescoed Parma Cathedral and the pink marble baptistry, grace the city centre. classical concertos take place at the Teatro Regio, a 19th century opera house. The Galleria Nazionale inside the imposing Palazzo dello Pilota displays works by painters Correggio and Canaletto.
Two things. One, very impressed by the pronunciation there. That was unreal.
I like my Italian. I think probably learnt from watching late night SBS football. Not late night SBS other programs.
No, just football. Thanks
You know,
for
you
the
get,
clarification. Not to be confused with.
Yeah. Get AC Milan versus my adopted team now, Napoli. Napoli, the 3-time champions.
Not to be confused with Napoli ham.
You will see this is it, right? The ham gets named after the place. Parma ham, Napoli ham.
But see, that's the debate there. I feel like that's just a classic Australian thing. We just throw the E on the end of everything.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think. I think it's Parma. You got if you're going to shorten it, keep it what it is. It's Parma.
Yep.
You know.
Hails from the city of Parma. I think we can call it
What do
Parma.
we throw E on the end of? Wiki keeper, wiki.
Yeah, the wiki.
What else we got? There's lots of them. Why am I blanking?
I think the other common Australian one is the O though.
Yeah,
servo.
Servo. Yep.
See you in the
Bottle
Arvo.
O. Yep. Yep.
Why'd you go straight to Bottle O?
Oh, it's just on the mind.
Yeah, there you go.
No, we're doing dry January, mate.
Oh, that's very good.
Yeah, lead internationals.
Yeah, clever.
Mind on the goal. On the task. I think a fair few of the boys are joining in with that, which is good.
Still scrolling down on the Google search results on Parma. Go top questions. Is Parma worth visiting in Italy? Yes, of course, you must go to Parma. When I fell in love with the city with its deep cultural roots and incredible food, the Parma Cathedral and its frescoes, the Baptistery, you really can't go there without feeling ancient cultural roots. So it might be the place to go, Parma. And then the next question, is Parma the same as prosciutto? You know prosciutto as dry, cured, thinly sliced pork that tastes nicely salted. Prosciutto is the Italian word for ham, as the literal meaning prosciutto di Parma
Not the
implies Parma ham.
Not the same, right? Two different. Yeah.
Not all prosciutto is prosciutto di Parma, though. That's
Okay,
there
okay.
it is.
Good to see some followers as well watching the games from the men's side of the Victorian program. Got Michael Dyson and Chris Kiefer watching at home. Thanks so much for tuning in, boys, and giving it a listen.
Nicola Beanie in the YouTube comments letting me know that it is in northern Italy, and she also liked the pronunciation. And Alex Clayton comes to watch softball, gets an Italian history lesson. Love it.
Hey, every day's a school day.
Always be learning.
What else are you going to do in a rain delay?
If anybody else has any other good rain delay activities, put them in the YouTube comments. Let us know. Nicola Beanie also earlier in the comments weighing in on the potato fritter cake scallop debate. Said fritters are thinner than cakes. That harks back to the image that you got sent about the thickness of them. Oh, I couldn't pronounce.
Now you've gone.
Surname
Now
wrong.
you've gone and done it.
I got all the Italian words right, except Nicola's surname. Can you type it into the comments phonetically, Nicola, and I will endeavour to pronounce it correctly.
Surely we've got someone that can give us a rain delay activity. We do have 22 minutes remaining in this delay. You can see the Victorian Titans and the Queensland Heat have arrived. They've been here for around 15 minutes, walking around, talking to some of the spectators, mingling on the first base side near the pavilion.
So they can have some family time now, but we can choose to avoid our sister and partner and just stay here.
Yeah, a smart choice. We'll keep doing our job. Someone's got to man the post.
Yeah, exactly. You can't have nobody on
No.
the feed.
No. Can't keep looking at this beautiful Waverley skyline with nothing behind it. Although if you ask Michael Dyson, I think he'd prefer the skyline. But anyway.
It looks like we have some of the tournament technical crew out the back here having a little bit of discussion. Got Angela Broadbent, Danny Rigg, M. Fry and Lee Evans having a chat. I know some previous nationals in years gone by, they've had some quite late starts to games.
Might be the case here tonight for that second game, or whether they look to reconvene and play in the morning, perhaps even.
It could take a very long route to the final if you play 3 games, all elimination on the one day.
Has been done in the past. I know we had a similar schedule for the men's nationals in Canberra in 2022, I believe. 2022 or 2023, where there were several rain delays, had to condense the program, and that resulted in a 3-game final day, which meant we had to play 3 on the trot to make the final game, or to play in the final game. So not out of the realm of possibility.
The first game tomorrow is originally scheduled for 11 a.m.
So there you go, this time.
And then according to the roster, according to the fixture, it looks like the grand final is scheduled for 3 o'clock. Now, obviously, there's a little bit of time after that. But, yeah, you could move it to a 9 a.m., 11:30, 3 p.m.
Yeah. That might be the go, Shane.
Solve the fixture problem
But yeah.
for tomorrow. They don't even have it yet. But
that's it. We've got it all figured out here, mate. We'll just go through the results while we have a chance from today's game that has taken place. The first time slot game, we had New South Wales ACT. New South Wales being the victors 3-2. A nice, tight, close game there. Queensland going down to South Australia 7-1. Western Australia ACT faced off at midday with ACT winning 4-2. And in the same noon time slot, New South Wales beating Victoria 2-1. Another tight game. Shane, we've seen so many tight games here at the Gilley Shield. Plenty of close results from all teams, top to bottom on the ladder. We have had 2 games since then, with WA beating Tasmania 3-0 and Victoria beating South Australia 5-4 in a tiebreak, 8th inning. The standings coming into the final series, New South Wales in first position, playing 12, winning 11. South Australia in second position, playing 12, winning 9. Queensland in third position, playing 12, winning 8. Victoria rounding out the top 4 final spots, playing 12, winning 7. After the top 4 cut-off, ACT finishing 5th with 4 wins on the tournament. Tasmania finishing 6th with 2 wins on the tournament. And WA picking up their lone win today to round out the 7 teams. No draws this week. Obviously, we go to extra innings and we play results out regardless of the game. New South Wales being the dominant offensive team, scoring 83 runs, the most out of any team. Queensland 56, coming in second. Victoria 46, the third placed offensive team. South Australia 38, the 4th placed offensive team.
value for all the runs that they score.
Absolutely. And in terms of the runs against department, the leading team, New South Wales, only allowing 21. Victoria in second place, allowing 31. South Australia in third place, allowing 32. And Queensland 36 in 4th position for the runs against.
Tell you what, even factoring in some of those teams that missed the 4 places for finals, Tassie maybe only had their 2 wins, but one of them was an absolute barnstorming finish where they put on 6 early against ladder leaders New South Wales and then went through all 3 of their pitching staff to manage to hold out New South Wales, who kept slowly clawing it back, taking that win 6-4 earlier on in the week.
It's a great game to watch. I came and watched that one from the start with you, Shane. And a 6 spot in the first inning jumping out. It was a very exciting start to that game. And obviously holding on right at the end there. I think it was 4-6, was it?
Yep.
So all the games here at the Gillies, tight affairs, very, very minimal blowouts. Obviously, we've seen a variety of Australian talent here at the Gillies Shield, with some youth coming into some of these open sides for the first time. Some return players in their sort of second and third times through their Opens campaign, and also obviously the veterans that lead the way for their teams. Something we've seen an increase in over the last few years, and obviously this year, probably to a higher extent, would be the use of the international player pool. Obviously, each team allowed 4 international pickup players. Shags, what are your thoughts on the international players being able to come across and bolster our teams and add some talent and depth to the tournament?
It is one that you can take both looks at it, but I definitely think it makes the standard of the games better, and I think it contributes to the Australian teams having better performances when they play on the international stage. You've got some Australian selectors sitting just over to the right of us who have their notebooks out, speed guns out, making sure that they get their info. Tell you, the one who I think has been absolutely awesome and maybe a couple of unlucky results has been the ACT pitcher Mara Arai. She's been amazing for the ACT in one of the results that they picked up. She gave up a hit to the first hitter of the game and then 21 consecutive outs.
Perfecto.
Basically a perfect game after giving up a first hit to the first batter, but 21 consecutive outs after giving up a single to start the ball game. Wow. That's where your coach goes, you know those 3 extra pitches you needed in the warm-up? That was it there.
Oh, that would be heartbreaking, wouldn't it?
She's been fantastic.
And I'm sure she probably doesn't even know that that's what she did, obviously being a team player. It's one of those games where those personal sort of achievements and accolades often get pushed to the side in priority of the team.
The team player thing is definitely right. You can see her celebrating with her teammates when they make good plays. So there was one, I think the ACT shortstop, I think it might be Kirkio, was heading back into the hole, took it like a diving catch. I think you might have been commentating on that one as well. And Mara Arai threw both hands up in the air. She was pumping it up. And then similarly with Tassie, got Megan Faremo back for her second year at the Gillies Shield. I remember the first time that name was published with the Tasmanian team, everybody was like, wow, College Player of the Year, UCLA, Megan Faremo. But now, almost all the states having some form of international player. Probably just New South Wales without an actual international player, but a lot of their girls now playing in the college system and getting to experience, some different softball than just normal club competitions.
You can see both teams coming out and having a little warm-up now. South Australia getting some running done and now into their throwing. The New South Wales team into their personal stretches. Everyone doing some individual work down there. Only 13 minutes till we recommence here. The 8:20 time for our recommencement will be in the 4th inning. For those who are only just joining us, to fill you in on what you've missed so far. Score still 0-0. Only one hit apiece. Elliott picking up the lone hit for South Australia.
That and little Young lined shot into left field.
Yep. And Young picking up the only hit for New South Wales. So a nice close game through these early innings.
There was one Bree muscled over the top of the infield. And Jenna moved up to 2 on that, so...
Kendra Lamb so far in her 3 innings of work, 5 strikeouts, 1 walk, no hits, no runs. And Kilfoyle in her 3 innings of work, 1 hit, 1 strikeout, 1 walk for no runs. So Kendra Lamb getting most of her outs, or a fair percentage of her outs via the strikeout so far. Kilfoyle using her team. South Australia known for their great defence. You see the girls starting to ramp up in their warm-ups. You'll see over the next 5-10 minutes. Umpires still in the control room upstairs. They haven't come down just yet. That's a good idea, Shane. Having the another camera angle down here in the commentary booth.
Camera down on us, you reckon?
Oh, who knows?
It's kind of like how the Fox Sports cricket commentators, it pans over to them.
Yep.
You often see one of our favourites, Kerry O'Keefe, having a bit of a laugh.
Yep.
I won't try and do an impersonation of his laugh, though, because it's not...
You won't get it right
It's not
either.
something that you can just do. It's something that he is born with.
Yep.
Nicola's come into the comments with the correct pronunciation for the surname, Bin-E. My last name is
Nicola
pronounced
Bin-E.
like Bin-E, but it's an I, not an E. It's not a problem, though. I hear it pronounced wrong all the time. Oh, you definitely don't want people getting your surname wrong.
Thank you for correcting us.
And correcting us politely.
Yeah.
Because over the years, there has been some people that have corrected in a not-so-friendly way, but...
We're trying. It's our first time doing these things. First time you've heard the surname Binny.
Mm.
This will be our 4th, 5th year, Shane. Jumping in and commentating at least one game together.
Doing some comms.
Yep. Always enjoyable having you in the booth. Plenty of knowledge and expertise in the game of softball.
Do we know who's going to do the final?
I'm not sure. I think it's still to
Or
be
the
worked
next,
out.
The next game, sorry, not the grand final.
next
but the next
game? Not too sure. Are you going for a watch? You won't be in the booth?
Yeah, might just watch
Yeah.
out off to the side. Bit of a nervous watcher, I think, sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you talk, sometimes you get those nerves out, and you don't have to be so on edge.
Just have to filter out some of the things that you say when you talk, though.
Yes, no, I understand. Now, seeing those New South Wales girls are out there warming up, do you reckon we could pinch some of those lollies? I can just see on the corner there.
Take a look whether
anyone
there's a
is anyone
scorer.
guarding
No,
it?
there's no
No
scorer
guarding?
at the little table either.
We've just got if you can picture, we've got a gazebo above us that sort of borders onto the New South Wales dugout, but there is a blind between our setup and their dugout. But there is a little opening, Shane. It's behind the table, though.
Just peeking around the corner. It
What do you
doesn't
reckon?
even look like there's anyone in the New
No one
South
there?
dugout. Their physio and coaching staff
Do I go for
down
it?
the end. Oh, actually, there is one. Jenna Trim is in the dugout. I reckon she might catch us.
No, she would bite my head off. I don't think she'd let me get away with it.
Nah.
She's got one hit in the ball game, 1 for 1. I don't like my chances. She'd be 2 for 2. Maybe something else to look at as we get to the later innings there, Shane. Those lollies and their availability. Shane just taking a chance to step out. Maybe get one of those famous Waverley potato cakes. Thanks to all those who have left some comments so far on the stream and that have messaged personally. I've had a fair few people tag team the commentary over the past 5 days of play. Will Mansfield doing a bulk of the work on the booth. I've had Claire come in as well. We had Sarah from Softball Australia earlier today. Last night, lucky enough to have Victorian men's athlete Joel Goodall in the booth. And obviously we had Stacey Porter last night as well for 2 or 3 innings, which is a great luxury for us to be able to have access to Stacey for those innings, get her insight on the game and give us a little bit of input about her journey through her career. I've had Ryan Lewandowski commentating on Diamond 1 on the other stream that's set up over there. Shout out to Ryan for his hard work getting that stream up and running himself with his own personal equipment that he's brought out to make sure that he can bring the Diamond 1 games to your viewing as well. Ryan, one of the athletes from the Frankston Club. Taking on a big load this week, one of the volunteers. Whether it's running around looking after the grounds, the live stream, the commentary, or anything in between. One of the standout volunteers. Only 5 minutes away from the recommencement of play here. You can see the girls heading back into the dugouts. They've warmed back up. The umpires have come down and they're now standing behind home plate. Under the gazebo here. Having a bit of a chat with the scorers. And it looks like they might be ready to come back out here within the next 2 to 3 minutes. Megan Rogers says, my vote for Pete Miller to commentate the next game. Might have to have a look and see if Pete's around. We love our audience involvement here, so any engagement you guys give on the comments there is great for us. Something to feed off as we get through the back end of this game. The umpires now entering the field, so finally after 50 minutes, a long wait, there will be some softball. Bit of a chance for the listeners at home to have a break from myself and Shane's nonsense. Good to talk a little bit of softball as well in between. After this one, only 3 games remain in the schedule. The 3v4 to follow this game. The elimination game first thing tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock and then the grand final at 3. The winner of this game getting their ticket straight through to the final. The loser will face off against the winner of our next game. So again, 0-0. Still plenty of softball left here. The sun going down behind home plate. Almost completely gone now behind the tree line.
Hello, darling. How are you? Looking like
The coaches for both sides heading out with home plate umpire Stuart Tyler over to second base to have a
you're gonna have to run right.
look at the sun from that position.
Go for it. Yeah, yeah.
And
Do it. All right, I'm gonna add Ryan to the
Chief
call.
umpire
You start doing
Lee Evans will also come out, directing the tournament from the umpiring perspective this week. Also having some input out there, just making sure it's safe for all players.
call. Just merging it.
Nothing worse than recommencing too early and having to wait for another break if the sun moves past another cloud or tree, but
Okay, Ryan.
it is just tucking itself behind the final tree line here at Gels Park. It'll find itself behind the hill within the next 5 minutes. The lights have already been turned on. The lights here on Diamond 2 got themselves an upgrade over the previous couple of years. Very well lit here on this diamond.
Just check. That's fine. Just keep an eye on your cable. Just make sure that they're not.
So it looks like they have decided.
All right. Stand by.
I've reached a decision. They're going to go and tell their players. Once we find out, we'll get that information to you.
Yeah, no, that looks good. Yep, I'm happy with that. Yep. Cool.
All right, and I think there will be some softball here. So the New South Wales girls
7% battery.
having a chat now before they take the field once again.
Do you know how,
No outs in the inning so far.
how the fuck did it
And Shane
That's interesting.
just getting himself a feed
No,
up at
that's
the
fine.
canteen. Hopefully he brings me back a couple of potato cakes. He usually looks after me, so. One of our all-time great blokes down here in Victoria, doing a lot of jobs. Taking on a major role in the Softball Victoria Men's Fast Pitch Committee, along with Michael Dyson, doing a lot of the behind-the-scenes planning for our Men's State League and other projects of similar nature within the men's program. Shane also coaching the under-16, the under-18 girls for the Victorian State team, who will go away for their tournament very shortly in the coming weeks.
All right.
And everything in between, obviously looking after the Eastern Bucks Men's State League team as well. Having a lot of input with the Glenira Association.
All right. Can you just give yourself a moment to give yourself acclimated to the game? I want to put you.
And after 50 minutes, we can finally reconvene.
Okay, Murray, I'm on you. Ready?
Marcelino stepping into the box with a 1-1 count. Here in the top of the fourth. Her first at bat, a strikeout swinging.
Okay, look fine at the moment, but I'll deal with that later. Ready, pitch, go pitch.
Elliott reaching via a single in her last at bat. So that is the runner on first there in Elliott.
On pitch.
Shane has arrived with the goods. And Marcelino has a count of 1 and 2.
Still on pitch.
Kendra Lamb delivers.
Oh, nice play. All right,
A pitch down in the zone.
nice play.
Even in the count 2 and 2.
Staying on pitch. Yeah, that's a good run. Keeping the shot really nice and still.
You can see plenty of fans rolling in now that rain and sun has made its way away from Gels Park. Marcelino fouls that one back on first base side. Fighting well, count remains 2 and 2. Great contact skills in Marcelino, finding herself in the 3 spot for most of the week for the South Australian team. Again, the 2-2. Little curveball. Outside, running the count full.
The camera's still moving. So Brian, stop using the camera. I want you to knock it off.
The full count pitch. None outs in the inning.
Brian,
Sent foul again. Another good battle as we recommence. The grounds are in great shape. No flooding, no water pooling at all. Grounds crew doing great with their resurfacing. Full count pitch. Sent up, deep down the left field line. Left fielder under it. And there will be no tag from Elliott.
Thought Marcelino might have had enough there. It sounded good off the bat.
Looked good. Our position here behind home plate with the gazebo. Can't quite see the flight of the ball, but off the bat looked good. You can see here on the Space Coke replay, turns nicely.
Isabel Hannah at left field, camped underneath it for quite a while. Backtracked a couple, but never really in doubt of the fence.
4-spot hitter Peterson. A walk in her first at bat when she led off the second inning.
Ground ball up towards first base. Jenna Trim picks it up. Has a quick look down over to Toon. Stacey McManus was there ready. But Neely Peterson was quick.
There we go. Okay, have your attention.
Oh, sorry. Olivia Elliott, sorry. Was quick over to get to 2.
Okay.
Stepping into the batter's box is a right fielder, Jess Rode. Good change up from Kendra Lamb. Pace off and jumps ahead of the count. No balls, 1 strike.
Just come over here.
Flight out to the pitcher in her first at bat. Time called by home plate umpire.
South Australia got a good beat to the drum going.
The percussion from the first base dugout. That pitch sent up. First baseman Trim coming in. It will be the catcher, Black, who takes the catch. That'll be the final out of the 4th inning. So after the top of the 4th, again, no score.
This is one of those tricky ones for the catcher as it's moving away from them all the time. See it pop up. Jenna Trim had a bit to work through to work past the batter coming out of the box, and Rachel Lack had the bat nearby. Went overhead and then underhand. Takes the catch safely. So Lexi Kilfoyle will come back into a session of work. So it'll be Bree Young to lead them off for New South Wales, Stacey McManus and Alyssa Mile. Always handy when you go 4, 5, 6 to start the lineup. So Lexi Kilfoyle will step onto the rubber and South Australia will resume their defence. First pitch swinging, shot into right field. Jess Rode tries to lay out but can't hang on to it. Bree Young is off to the races. She's heading around 3. Ball in the corner, having a look. The KP gives her a big hold sign at 3. And so straight after the break, Bree Young comes out firing. New South Wales have a leadoff runner at third base. Maybe we will see this nil deadlock broken. And I don't think you could get anybody better to go and step into the batter's box now with all the experience of Stacey McManus. Been in this kind of position many times, whether it's wearing the green and gold or the 2 blues of New South Wales. Good locator on the drop ball from Lexi Kilfoyle. Jumps ahead. No balls, 1 strike. Again, similar pitch, but maybe just take that one a little bit further down, see whether you can draw the swing out of the very wily, experienced McManus. Again, round the edge. But home plate umpire Stuart Tyler says, just need to get that a little bit back more over the plate for me. Neely Peterson takes a little shuffle. Change up position. Off the foot. And all 3 base umpires spotting that one. Hands up nice and early. Two balls, 2 strikes here on Stacey McManus. Big high leverage spot. And a good pitch, a little bit off speed and out of the zone from Lexi Kilfoyle. SA get the first out.
It's a big first out there. Runner on third. Still only 1 away. Infield playing in to protect that runner from third coming in.
First pitch swinging from Alyssa Mile.
Last time up, a ground out to second base. No runners on at that portion of the second inning as she led off.
I wonder if the first pitch swinging has been a planned tactic from Kerry Porter coming out after the break. That was what Bree Young did. It was what Alyssa Mile did just there. Lexi Kilfoyle hasn't really been wasting time, going straight at hitters, so could have been an adjustment that they've made in the break when they've had a little bit of time to look at the scoreboard. And South Australia have Millie Fidge out in right field. A little bit more intensity to this warm-up than before. Ground ball back to the pitcher. Maddie Scott covers in behind. Great play. Throwing a little bit off balance over to 1. And so now South Australia could nearly get themselves out of this lead-off triple spot.
It's a great play there from Scott coming in, fielding from that low position as you can see here and throwing off the extra foot off balance. Great throw over there to the first baseman as well. Watman stepping into the box with 2 away.
Good glove skills from Neely back there at home. Again, Lexi Kilfoyle working almost exclusively on the drop ball. A couple of change-ups here and there, but it's been locating really well.
Last at bat, getting Watman to ground out to the pitcher. 6 straight drop balls. So clearly something they've gone in with a plan of attack there with their scouting. Looking to exploit the bottom half of the zone. That ball sent out to right field. That'll break the deadlock. A nice RBI single there from Watman will score young. The celebration we've seen all week from the New South Wales team. And there we have it in the 4th as we resume. 1-0 New South Wales.
So we'll see the shot to right field. That is the first RBI of this game. Watman doing a really good job of letting the ball get deep and just outside half, take the hit to right field, cash the run, and on to the next one. Stepping into the batter's box is Rachel Lack. And again, another New South Wales hitter looking to swing first pitch. Again, that good waist drop ball from Lexi Kilfoyle. It's working around the knees and down. Especially as you made mention of before, Cody, the strong South Australian defence. Good plays from Maddie Scott, Brianna Marcelino up the middle.
Bit on display early for South Australia. That defensive prowess, especially at the middle. Count 0-2 on Lack. Last time a strikeout on 3 pitches. Finds herself 0-2 here in this at-bat with 2 away. Her second strikeout there. Also on 3 pitches. She'll be the final out of the inning. But New South Wales do their job. They get the one that they got out there with no outs. A triple to start the inning. Score New South Wales 1-0.
Lexi Kilfoyle nearly pitched her way out of that lead-off triple. And a good play from Maddie Scott. Was able to hold Bree Young at 3. But yeah, that Shaylin Watman shot to right field did the job. And as you said, Cody, New South Wales take a 1-0 lead.
Yep, Kendra Lamb coming out for her 5th inning now. Through her 4 innings, 1 walk, 5 Ks, no hits, no runs. So you can see the warm-up pitches coming in from Lamb. First hitter due up for South Australia will be the 6th spot. Shortstop Scott. Almost a tongue twister there. Shortstop Scott. Looks like a little pre-pitch routine out in front of the plate.
Draw a couple of little markers in there. Hopefully the umpires don't get confused and think that you're drawing the strike zone up. And
I think it's good to get that done prior to the first pitch of the at-bat.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there might be a bit of confusion. Last time up for Scott. A fielder's choice. Hit the ball to shortstop, who stepped on the base and took the only out. First pitch there, fouled back.
A little bit like we said about Reagan Diaz and Olivia Elliott and Shannon Keevers before. Another one who can do all the short game stuff. But then we've seen a couple of really aggressive, what do you think, home run sort of swings out of Maddie Scott too. So Australia has a couple of really top caliber lefty hitters who can do both long ball and short ball game. Going at that pitch upstairs and fouling it off over the top of the third base dugout.
Being able to stand up and hit from the left side with power makes the running stuff so much more of a useful tool. Not just being someone who slaps and bunts with speed. Obviously, that is hard enough to defend, but keeping in the minds of the defence that there's also the threat of a really hard hit ball. Keeps the defence off that pitch there on the outer half for strike 3. Lamb 6 for the game.
Like we had said earlier, real power pitching you can see with the strikeouts. Lexi Kilfoyle using her field a lot more. Kendra Lamb, that dominating presence in the middle.
Callahan coming to the plate. Check swing down the first base line will stay fair. Well taken by Trim to get up the line quickly and take that ball before it faded foul. Callahan wishing she had that one back.
Yeah, the little excuse me check swing is always one that you feel very frustrated when you make your way back to the dugout. What did I do that for?
Happens far too often to me. King steps up a strikeout in her first at bat, 0-1. 0-4-1, I should say, sorry. Fouling that one back behind the catcher.
I think the pitch that I've liked from Kendra Lamb the most has been a couple of hitters that go on with the low rise to start them off. Especially because she does also work with that changeup and drop ball really well. Work to get ahead and then go with a big high rise to finish them off.
especially if you're a hitter that sees that low rise in there early in the at-bat and then uses the high rise later on in the at-bat to put her away. Obviously, you pick that spin up early as being something that's in the zone, because that's all she's thrown you so far. And then it just kicks out of the top of the zone. So you can
Here we
see
go. Gas upstairs.
King striking out in the last at-bat on a drop ball. The 1-2 pitch here. Another drop ball. Check swing. Third baseman fields it. Manages to get the out in time. So a nice strong throw there from the third baseman. Watman gets the out in time. Score after the top of the fifth. 1-0.
What I like about this one, you see the two different plays that infielders can make. Maddie Scott on her ball that she was charging before made the play while still on the move. Shaylin Watman gets both feet set, two hands, no step, knows that she's strong enough to fire the throw over to one without having to take a step. Saves a bit of time that way. And two different ways to make the play, but both pretty effective.
I think you also take into account the runner as well and how hard the ball's hit. So that one hit to Scott, a bit more of a dribbler, a slower ball hit to her. Having to make up some of that time by coming in quite hard to field that ball and throw off balance. That one there getting to Watman a little quicker. Being able to stand and throw. So bottom of the fifth here. Due up now is the left fielder, Isabel Hanna, sorry. Her first time up, a ground out to the pitcher. A great play from the pitcher coming down the first base line to make the play. Kilfoyle in for her fifth inning of work. Kilfoyle's line so far. Giving up three hits. One strikeout, one walk.
Maybe a little bit of a brush back pitch there. As Isabel Hanna takes a couple of little slap steps to get herself moving through the batter's box. Throw that pitch in the river and say, I want you to bunt that or slap that towards the second base, first base side.
Sorry, just an adjustment there to Kilfoyle's line. 3 hits, 3 Ks, 1 walk, 1 run through her 4 innings. Missing 2 Ks I had off her line the first time there. So 3 strikeouts. Getting a lot of her outs using her infield.
Maybe if you miss those strikeouts, maybe the spotting position out of the 3 scorers is not for you.
No.
We'll give you the iPad.
Yep. Maybe that's not a good idea. You might find me on Subway Surfers instead of the iScore app.
The swing through from Isabel Hanna on a good pitch down and in from Lexi Kilfoyle. So payoff pitch here for Lexi Kilfoyle. Good location. Gas and movement as well. That'll get the K2. New South Wales go back to the top. Centre fielder Michelle Cox.
Cox in her first at bat, a ground out to shortstop. The second at bat, hit out to second base. An error, managing to reach base, however. That was when the rain just started coming down. A bit of a slippery ball coming off the wet infield. So still 0 for 2, but being on base once through that error. See Cox checking her right forearm for the sign from her coach. Shapes bunt. Foul.
Also looked like that Michelle Cox went to the second page of the signs on the underside I wonder if there's a second set of signs for lefties, because there's a bunch of different things that maybe that need to be for the lefties compared to when the righties are in the batter's box.
I think the top
Or
layer being the
defensive
defensive and then the offensive under the flap there to prevent possibly the catcher getting a look at any of those signs or any run or any players that are out on the infield when she gets on base. So you can see her just flip in and flip down. That pitch away for a ball.
5,000.
See the natural evolution of the game. Things get more crafty. We find different ways to relay information. This being one of the latest trends in elite softball.
Good location from Lexi Kilfoyle, finding the heart of the plate. So 2-2 here on Michelle Cox. Change of pace. Nice pitch by Lexi Kilfoyle. Draws the swing from Michelle Cox. Going to move SA to having 2 outs.
You can see here that change up. Cox
Beautiful.
Just in front of it. Kilfoyle now with 5 strikeouts in the game.
Neely Peterson very happy with it as well, giving it a big fist pump.
When you're a catcher and you call that change up and it pays off with 2 strikes, it's a good feeling. Especially when the pitcher executes it on a nice plane like that and getting a swing such as Cox did on that occasion. So Kivas comes up. A ground out to the pitcher and a fielder's choice in her 2 at-bats. 0 for 2 so far tonight. Shapes bunt, gets it down, third base side. Coming in, Callahan, not in time. So a nice piece of hitting there from Kivas. Shaping late for the surprise bunt. Bringing up the 3-spot hitter Trim.
Hopefully the Spacequake Sports camera crew were able to catch Shannon Kivas up that first base line because she was flying. Look at that. We only got the last 2 steps in the actual replay because that's how quick she was. So Jenna Trim in the batter's box.
Don't be surprised if she takes off for the steal either. I've seen a couple of stolen bases from Kivas in the last few games.
Not a bad time either, where you can take a chance, steal with 2 out, and if you don't get the runner over to 2, start with your 3 hitter in the batter's box next time around.
Trim 0 for 1 with a walk so far this game. Swings through that one. Trim grounding out in her second at bat and a walk in her first. Falls behind 0-2 here. Kivas on first.
Nice looking pitch from Lexi Kilfoyle. A wry smile out of Neely Peterson back there. Sure she really wanted that one. 1 ball, 2 strikes now against Jenna Trim. Funny spin on that one. Brianna Marcelino makes a nice tidy play of it.
Excellent work. Ready.
So that'll be the end of the 5th. Score remains 1-0.
Graphics are out. Okay, go wide, get ready to follow.
So there's been a substitution.
You could.
Coming into the batter's box, number 89, Millie Fidge.
Fidge coming in for Jensen, the 9-spot hitter, struck out in her first at bat.
That's handy when your other pitcher can be the DP. So if they do need to make a change and bring Millie Fidge into pitch, she can stay in that 9 spot in the lineup. And
Yeah,
they haven't
tonight.
burnt Lexi Kilfoyle either, so
Yeah.
she can come back into the game later on.
It's good coaching at confusing to some, especially to our general audience. Obviously, our coaches who have utilised the DP and flex at this level know what they're doing. Especially having pitchers that can hit. It's a great luxury within our lineup to be able to move back and forth and not necessarily waste substitutions.
Obviously, Millie Fidge at the University of Hawaii. So I'm sure she's seen plenty of good pitching over the last couple of years that she's been over there. Change up. Might have been a touch higher, but fall back into the zone.
What a
Also
great
seen-
spot to go to school.
Yeah,
University
I
of
know.
Hawaii. Wow.
Get some Melbourne-like weather with the rainbow that we had earlier. I think the weather would be a little bit better than Melbourne. Oh, well done, Millie Fidge, waiting on the change-up. Maybe one too many change-ups from the at-bat. Saw it nice and early, held her hands, then just punched it into centre field.
See a nice little single. She holds her hands back, as you'll see here in a second on our Spacequake replay. Recognising early, holding, and sending that one over to centre field. That's the second hit of the ball game for the South Australian team.
And you love the 9-hitter, getting a hit, getting you on base, top of the order with a runner on.
Turning it over. So Diaz will come to the plate. 0 for 2, 2 flyouts, 1 to first base and 1 to left field so far this game. None away here in the top of 6. Fouls that one back behind the plate.
I asked the South Australian head coach Ben Lucas before, seeing the lineup, and said, Regan Diaz or Reagan Diaz? Said Reagan, Ronald Reagan. That's the easy way to remember it. No matter where your political allegiance lie, Ronald Reagan.
Does well to check that one upstairs. Starting to see these rise balls from Lamb a little bit better. Good discipline. One pitch. Cold strike on the inner half. Good pitch there from Lamb.
I think that's the inverse of the conversation we were having earlier about low rise and then the high rise. Kendra Lamb throwing a good high rise earlier and then coming back with a low rise, and Reagan Diaz laying off that one. Maybe seeing the spin early and thinking it's going to continue going up. Shot over to third base. Shaylin Watman had that play and fired it over to 2. But home plate umpire Stuart Tyler throws his hands up, says foul ball.
I know it was a foul ball, but just quietly, look at the range here. That ball hit hard. Does well to get straight over, up at a firm base, and fire from her knees on a dime over to second base.
Very tidy play. We also did mention before that playing quite close to the line, so I think that might have made the decision for Stuart Tyler a bit easier. Already close to the line. And then more than a big step over, probably going to be fouled most of the time. In the meantime, not a bad pitch from Kendra Lamb there.
Bit of an effort ball there. That came in a little bit quicker than the previous this at bat. 2-2 count here on Diaz. Change up. Down the zone. Does well to fight it off. You can see the Queensland team making their way over to the back diamonds to warm up for their next game. Victoria's been warming up for the last 15 or so minutes down on Diamond 1. Hopefully they can get lots on from to see the balls down there on that diamond as the sun has faded across here, Gels Park, behind the tree line. 2-2 pitch. Another good watch. Running the count full. So lead-off hitter Diaz in the box. Fidge on first. None away in the inning. Very important pitch here in the top of the 6th. Lamb fires. Fouls that one back. Good battle between the two. Diaz a very tough out each time up to bat.
A little bit of life out of South Australia here. They've had the energy all night with the drums, but now starting to be in a real dangerous position.
Full count pitch again. Fouled back once more.
Reagan Diaz battling real hard. Just had a look before. Doesn't look like anybody is out in the pen for New South Wales either. So head coach Kerry Porter obviously got the faith in Kendra Lamb.
This will be the 8th pitch of this at-bat coming here.
Reagan Diaz draws the walk. Perseverance and hard work. Laying off some really close pitches and fouling off a couple others. Now gives South Australia a classic sack bunt position. Runners on 1 and 2, none out, 1-run ball game. And a fast lefty in the batter's box in Olivia Elliott.
See third base, probably a third of the way down. First base back. First pitch outside. No shape on that first pitch. Elliott 1 for 2 so far this game with a strikeout and a single to right field. She was South Australia's first hit of the ball game. 1 of 2 for the South Australian offence. Good cut at that one.
There's some pop in her bat. Like, that sounded really, really good. If I'm playing third base, I'm feeling quite nervous having to play halfway down the line here.
Even first base coming down for the bunts, but also that pull side. You can see last time she sent one out to right field. Turning well on it. Getting the hands around on a quick pitch from Lamb. Big swing at that one up in the zone. 1 and 2. South Australia really needing a productive at-bat here from Elliott. Finding a way to advance the runners. Being priority number 1. That pitch down the way. Luck does well to get across and glove it. Keep it in front. Count 2 and 2. So, first and second, none out. 2 and 2. Some really competitive at-bats here from the South Australian top order. That one, called strike 3. Up in the zone. Elliott strikes out looking.
That'll bring to the plate, second base, Brianna Marcelino.
0 for 2 so far in this one. A strikeout and a fly out to left field. Good contact skills, really good bat on ball. Tough to strike out.
Pitch down to start the at-bat off there from Kendra Lamb.
Count 1 and 0 to Marcelino. Big cut at that one. Fouled first base side. This being Kendra's 6th inning of work. She started the game for New South Wales. Only surrendering 2 hits so far. Two hits, 2 walks, no runs.
Aggressive hack out of Marcelino. Looks like she's trying to score 3 runs with one swing of that. Does look like she has the power to do it though, so.
Last time got into one Looked like it had a chance, and then being held up at left field. The 1-2 from Lamb. Down the way, handled well again by Lack. Been good defensively so far behind the plate.
Very tidy.
.20 pitches so far here in this inning. This being the most South Australia has threatened so far in this game. 2-2. Sends that one
That
out
might be
deep to
the
left
one.
field. Going back, and it's out of here. That's a huge shot there. Marcelino, 3-run shot out at left field. And very quickly, this game has turned on its head. South Australia leading 3-1.
Well, we did have a little bit of a look at each other when there was no bunt out of the 2-spot hitter with runners on 1 and 2. But Coach Ben Lucas is vindicated after that because that 3-run shot has just flipped the scoreboard.
Wow, here you can see on the Space Quake replay. Inner half turns really well on that pitch. Left fielder moving back straight away. Hitting over the gazebo. What a shot.
Good piece of hitting from Brianna Marcelino. You could definitely see that, like you said, turned really hard on the ball.
Peterson following it up the only way that you should after a home run like that with a big swing.
Can't hit 2 home runs in a row if you don't swing at 2 pitches in a row.
That's it.
So it's where the efforts of the couple of at-bats previously, Regan Diaz fouling off a couple of pitches, Millie Fidge having a strong at-bat, just made Kendra Lamb have to work, like you said, a fair few more pitches this inning than most others.
Yeah, we said it that earlier on in that at-bat. 20 pitches in now, about to throw her 25th, so by far the most for any inning so far for Lamb. That one getting past Lack.
Now,
obviously-
Stacey McManus,
Oh, yeah.
shortstop, is coming in and have a little bit of a chat. Maybe just noticing something that she can help pump Kendra up after that. She doesn't look too phased by it all.
No, that's what I was just about to say. An experienced pitcher, obviously, representing Australia previously. You've got to be quite mentally resilient to be a pitcher at that level. So this is no situation she hasn't found herself in before. But obviously the leadership on the New South Wales team, McManus still coming in, getting behind her pitcher, knowing that there is support for her there on the infield. Doesn't have to do it all herself. Obviously she has got 7 strikeouts so far, so she has dominated the hitters. That pitch swung on again by Peterson. Similar swing to that first one. Up in the zone. Lots of intent behind that swing.
Yeah, powerful looking swing.
Probably why she finds herself in the 4 spot with a walk and a ground out so far. 0 for 1. Down that back again. Another good swing there from Peterson. South Australia doing really well so far to turn on the power pitches from Lamb. As we mentioned earlier about flipping the infield, expecting balls that might get hit to the push side rather than the pull.
And we've seen Shaylin Watman make some really good plays over at 3, whether they were fair or foul. So New South Wales probably were aware that South Australia were going to be pulling the ball hard. Neely Peterson takes the walk up to first base. And New South Wales will have an infield conference.
Just keeping the pressure on, keeping the line moving. You don't need to follow up a home run necessarily with another one for it to be a successful inning. So just applying that pressure, another base runner on, keeping the line moving. The 5 spot, Jessica Road will come to the plate now. So far, 0 for 2. A fly out to the pitcher and a fly out to the catcher. Only 1 away in this inning so far. That one sent foul. Just over the fence, first base side.
Oh, dude, if you can catch one of those.
Almost hitting our cameraman Ryan on the first base side.
Oh, he's like not even doing
Hasn't he had a week this week?
Oh, I mentioned when you were off there some of the roles he's done throughout the week so far.
Oh, that's
0-1 pitch here to Road. Up in the zone, does well to check. 1-on-1. Lamb about to throw her 30th pitch of the inning. Still only one away. Temperature dropped quite a bit here. 27 degrees. Nice pitch on the outer half there.
Don't think we have any need for that pre-ordained heat break earlier.
No, it has just ticked over 9 o'clock here. 4 past 9 o'clock. That sun dipping away. Count 1 and 2 here. Swings through that one, stays alive, fouls it back. Again, 1 and 2. Officially time to take the sunnies off, Shane, and just keep the little specs on. I like that.
Yeah, left my regular glasses in the car.
No.
So just got the little prescription insert.
1-2 pitch. Change up. Road tries to hold up. Home plate umpire calls the swing. So that'll be a strikeout. The second out there for Lamb, doing well to record it. The next hitter will be Scott. As you can see, she tries to hold up, down and away on that change-up. Can't do so.
Good work by Rachel Lack as well, knowing with the change-up being potential to bounce and just making sure she kept everything behind it.
Maddie Scott coming up now. 0 for 2, her last time a strikeout looking. On the outside, you can see quite a nod after her last out there, proving that pitch as she walked off back to her dugout. Slapping, nice hard slap over the second baseman out to centre field. It'll go out to the fence.
Coming home, throw into Rachel Lack.
Some great running out there. Peterson, who drew the walk earlier in the inning, moving across to... advancing on the next base, sorry.
Regan Diaz out running for the catcher. That's why there was some
Yeah, okay.
real wheels out there. Cheryl Cox making a nice play on the slide. Cut it off before the fence. Regan Diaz was off to the races on that one.
A good send there from Ben Lucas as well. Nice and aggressive, putting another one on in this beginning. Callahan up to the plate now. 0 for 2. Last time a check swing ground out to the first baseman.
A couple change-ups in that previous at-bat to Charlize Callahan, so wonder whether we'll see some of the same or keep her guessing and stay all on pace.
That was a nice hard slap there from Scott, moving to the zone, recognising it up. Picking out the gap perfectly out there. Called strike 3 on the inside. Callahan goes down on strikes. Not before SA pole on 4. A big change here in the landscape of this game. New South maintaining control through the first 5. South Australia erupting here in the top of the 6th. Score now 4-1.
So stepping in the batter's box for New South Wales, Bree Young. And you may remember, she sparked New South Wales into action, leading off her previous at-bat with the triple to right field. So I'm sure New South Wales are looking for something more out of Bree now. So South Australia still going with Lexi Kilfoyle, even though Millie Fidge is now in the lineup. You've got the option to go with either one of the two. See a solid pre-pitch routine out of Bree Young. Breathing, getting her composure. Takes that pitch down and in. 3 balls, 1 strike now for Bree Young. Does a good job to foul that one off. Keep her turn alive in the batter's box.
Young 2 for 2 in this game. Single in the first at bat, and then also that triple that you mentioned earlier, Shane. The lone run for New South Wales, which was enough up until last inning. Not before the 4-run eruption.
I think Bree Young was really on that pitch, but the change of pace might have just had her poking a little bit more than she would have wanted, because that's definitely a pitch that she can handle and do some damage with. If you let her extend on it, pretty good at hitting the ball to centre right.
Great pitch in there from Kilfoyle. Nice hard drop ball. A lot of movement on that. Freezes Young for the first out of the inning. Kilfoyle's 6th strikeout of the game as she enters her 6th inning of work. McManus will come to the plate. 0 for 2 so far. A ground out and then a strikeout in her second at bat.
But definitely, like we were saying before, unbelievably experienced, and will have had all of these situations prior in her career. So she's got what it takes to be the spark for New South Wales.
Count now 1-1 on McManus. Fouls that one back, 1-2. You can see takes a step away. McManus, a very small movement from her front leg, helping her stay on time with the pitcher. Obviously, Kilfoyle throws quite hard. Heavy drop ball. That small movement there for McManus, keeping her on time. 1-2 pitch. Sends that one up. First base side. Great diving catch there from Marcelino. Just gets put down. What an effort. She came out of nowhere. I thought that was first base's ball.
Looking at Georgia King the whole time, and she was covering pretty good ground too. But then, yeah, out of nowhere, Brianna Marcelino, you can see on the Spacequake replay.
Not even in the shot there, and then all of a sudden, bang.
Ooh, very close.
Almost ate the fence there on the way through as well.
So Stacey McManus will keep battling here. Desperate to get a runner on for New South Wales. Up the third base line. They easily foul. Charlize Callahan scampers over to pick it up.
See McManus there battling away, 2-2.
Change up there from Lexi Kilfoyle, but just a little bit too high. You did say before about that change up on the nice path. I think sometimes that change up out of the hand that looks like it's on the way up. Lexi Kilfoyle's worked really well down in the zone. Sees something just on the up and you go, oh, here's my pitch. And way out in front of it. Stacey McManus shot over the top of the jumping Brianna Marcelino. So there's New South Wales runner for them to start working with. Brings to the plate second base, Alyssa Mile.
McManus doing well to get her hands to that drop ball. Came in quite fast there from Kilfoyle, as you can see here on the replay. Doing well to send it across to right field. Almost getting up there, Marcelino.
It's like one of those things you see on, they often talk about with Derek Jeter. Just hands inside the ball, poke it over the top second base to right field, take the hit. It was very much similar from Stacey McManus.
Well, none on. Very important to get that line moving, get someone on base. It's hard to throw signals no runners on. Well, can't push those buttons. McManus doing well to lead her team and get on base here in the 6th.
Top of the zone there from Lexi Kilfoyle.
Mile 2 ground outs so far, 0 for 2. Hitting in the 6th spot here for New South Wales. Shapes bunt, very late, fouled back. Did well to hide it, didn't she? Really late shape there.
Pitch might have been already on the way down before she moved. So 1 ball, 2 strikes here on Alyssa Mile. Even though Lexi Kilfoyle mainly goes to the down ball, there is sometimes she throws it high for gas. Does the job there, outside half of the plate. Neely Peterson likes it as well, gives it another big fist pump. So that'll be 2 out.
Kilfoyle's 7th strikeout of the game. Allowing 5 hits, 1 walk, 1 run so far to this pretty powerful New South Wales lineup.
There's Shaylin Watman in the batter's box, who, like we've said earlier, made a couple of really nice looking plays over at third base. So she's contributed on the defensive half for New South Wales. She'd love to get a knock and move Stacey McManus around.
Last time up, a hit to right field. The RBI that broke the deadlock of 0-0. Kept that score at 1-0 for most of this game. That one sent out to the pitcher. Backhands. Fires over to first for the 3rd out of the inning. A great defensive play from Kilfoyle on the backhand. Pitchers can field too, Shags.
Pitchers that field. But so the South Australia energy that they've had all game has now really got their momentum going. We see the replay here of the play made by Lexi Kilfoyle. 2 or 3 steps across. Fires it over. Georgia King with a good stretch and Brett Tyler with a call of out.
Top of the 7th here.
I was on you there, Ryan.
Score 4-1 in South Australia's favour. New South Wales finishing first after the rounds. We'll get the chance to bat again here in the bottom of the 7th. King has a good rip at that first one. Hitting in the 8 spot today, a strikeout and a ground out so far, 0 for 2. Lamb so far in this one, 7 Ks in her 6 innings of work. Nice pitch just outside there. Lamb allowing 4 runs on 4 hits, 2 walks. Nice change up there, pulls a string on it. King acknowledging and apologising to third base coach. That's why we get 3. Count now 1 and 2. Georgia King, the first baseman this game. Curveball outside. King does well to leave it.
This is a pitch we've seen a couple of times now, a little bit later in the game. Maybe just holding it off until they've been through the lineup once and then introducing curveball.
See Lardner down the left field side, warming up here in the 7th. Change up in the dirt. Count goes full. That curveball you spoke of earlier. Seen it a few times with count leverage. In those counts with 2 strikes and a bit of wiggle room, maybe 0 and 2 or 1 and 2. Trying to get some swing and miss. Maybe setting the sights away and setting up for something in. Full count pitch here to the leadoff hitter. In there, strike 3. Lamb's 8th of the game. That'll be the first out of the inning.
I think that pitch, and like you were talking about, Cody, you can definitely feel Rachel Lack's confidence in Kendra Lamb being able to throw basically any of her pitches in any sort of pressure situation, whether it's ahead in the count or behind in the count. Well drilled, confident in all their options.
Fidge taking a swing at that one. 1 for 1 in this game. Fidge initially not in the starting lineup. Coming in for Jensen at the DP spot. Coming in, picking up a single to centre field in her first at bat, holding her hands on that change-up.
Well, we were saying pitches that field before. We also love pitches that hit.
Yes, we do. Quickly 0 and 2 on Fidge. Lamb doing well to come out after that heavy 6th inning and work her way into a rhythm here in the 7th. Lamb with the 0-2 pitch. Fidge sends it out to right field. No problems for Keevers. 2 away.
South Australian coach Ben Lucas will probably be very happy with the 2 at-bats out of Millie Fidge tonight. Change up that she's poked into centre field to get the, like you said, get the line rolling earlier. And then a good bit of contact there, just a tiny bit underneath it. But both outfielders had to range a little bit to go and make that play. But like you said, Shannon Keevers underneath it. Takes us back to the top. Number 4, Reagan Diaz.
0 for 2 in this one with a walk. Obviously that walk coming around to score in that big inning.
And she was the runner for Neely Peterson, who when the hit was earlier, she was able to go from first all the way around to home. Multiple tool kind of player. Hit, wheels, good defense in the outfield.
Pitch up and away. Count 2 and 1 on Diaz. Diaz, the centre fielder tonight in this game, hitting in the leadoff spot. 3 at-bats so far tonight.
You can see on screen the Victorian team all ready for their 3v4 elimination matchup against Queensland.
They look
down to the right
in.
field line.
Count now 3 and 1 on Diaz. 2 away in the inning, top of 7. 3-1 pitch to Diaz. Up in the zone. Called strike. Stuart Tyler running the count full.
South Australia, a little bit of noise out of the dugout on 2 of those called strikes at the top of the zone, but they have been there both times from home plate umpire Stuart Tyler, so he's pretty steady with his zone. Hard shot through the 5.5 hole from Reagan Diaz. So got one just a little bit more on her level, maybe on the letters rather than just above. Capable enough to handle that. Shoots it in a left field, and South Australia get themselves a runner on base with 2 out.
Yep, that's the first hit for Diaz. 1 for 3 now. As you can see on the replay here, nice piece of hitting turns. Well, the South Australian team really working well, hitting on that inside pitch. As you can see, naturally, a lot of quick hands in that lineup. It's her first hit of the ball game.
Brings to the plate Olivia Elliott, who we both had down to put down a sack bunt last time up.
Didn't they show us?
Yeah.
Elliott, 1 for 3. Pair of strikeouts and a single to centre field. Sorry, to left field in her second at bat. Runner falls over at first base. Diaz there, almost hung out to dry, but does well to get up and get back. See the little sniper motion she did over there.
Sitting on top of the Waverley Club rooms.
Count 2-0 on Elliott. 2 away. Top 7. Fouls that one back left side behind third base dugout.
Again, hard hit ball by Olivia Elliott. You said another one of those multiple tool kind of players. Hit for contact, hit for power, speed and defense.
Pitch up in the zone. Sent straight up. Catcher, first base converging. And it will be the first baseman, Jenna Trim, who takes that one for the 3rd out of the inning. Score will remain 4-1 South Australia. New South, with a bit of work cut out for them, will go in, try and score 3 here, keep the game going for the bottom of the 7th.
They are nasty ones when it's in that little triangle between first base, third base, and the catcher. Popped up really high. You could even see Shaylin Waltman, both hands ready for the little spill off the glove, but Jenna Trim handled it really well in the end.
So after 7 innings of work for Lamb, 5 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts. See Kilfoyle will come in here again for the 7th inning. Both pitches going all 7. And it looks like we might have some changes here as we enter our last inning. Possibly a pinch hitter. Lack 0 for 2 so far this game. 2 strikeouts, both on 3 pitches. In the 8th spot. New South Wales carrying 6 on their bench.
Looks like it'll be Grace Rickson.
Grace has hit the ball quite well this week. I'm assuming they've got her on the bench in case of a pitching change need, perhaps. 2 great shots in one of the games I commentated where she hit one out to the fence and then one over the fence. So,
you know you're having a day when you get a couple of good shots.
Yeah, absolutely. So she'll step into the box here for her first at bat. Always the power threat is Rickson. She'll get a chance here off Kilfoyle. First pitch in there for a ball. She's been dominant all night. 5 hits, 1 walk, 7 Ks, only allowing the 1 run through 6 innings.
And all of that mainly just with two pitches for the night. Lots of down ball, pace on, and a few change up.
Yeah,
just so the hitters. Sorry.
I was just going to say, don't know if we've seen a rise ball from Kilfoyle. She's working very heavy down. And why wouldn't you when you've got a drop ball with as much hump as that does? and then keeping hitters off balance with the change-up. Just working in and out is enough for Kilfoyle to keep hitters off balance, and she gets results.
Good lesson for any young ones watching along at home. You don't have to have 5 pitches. If you can absolutely nail 2, you can be pretty successful.
Strike 3 there for Rickson.
Probably also helps when you throw 110 too.
Sure it does. First out of the inning there via the strikeout. Looks like we have another change. Hannah scheduled to hit in the 9 spot, that being Isabel Hannah. And it looks like we might get Iredale to come in for a pinch hit in the 9 spot. This will be Iredale's first at bat. A tough job to come in off the bench here in the 7th. Obviously chasing multiple runs. A tough job regardless, even if you're chasing one, to come in pinch hit off any pitcher in the 7th inning, let alone someone of Kilfoyle's calibre.
I agree, even if you've had 2 turns or 3 turns previously. Top of the zone there from Kilfoyle. Jumps ahead, no balls, 1 strike. It's a tricky one for the pinch hitters too. Do you get in there and swing thinking that you obviously need to do something with the stick, but then got to see 1 or 2 to get your timing, get a bit of a feel for what it's coming down as. So no balls, 2 strikes here on Angelique Iredale. Lays off that one. Maybe seeing if she'll go a little bit further across than those first 2 pitches on the edge, but good enough to lay off. Keeps that one alive. Fouls it off. Home plate umpire Stuart Tyler comes out to dust off the plate. Probably allowing Neely Peterson a little bit of time for that one that just probably clipped her on the way through as well.
Kilfoyle working really efficiently so far this game. Most innings sort of around the 10 pitch mark. As you see, another strikeout there, 2 in the inning. 8 for the game so far.
That dipper just keeps going down and down, doesn't it? You see it, looks like it's in the strike zone, and all of a sudden you're swinging at something under the kneecaps.
It's a really effective pitch, especially when you throw it so hard. As you can see there again. Swung through by Iredale. Lineup turns over to Cox. Over 3 on the game. A strikeout last time on a change-up. Reach base via an error in the 3rd, and also a ground out in her first at bat.
These 2 quick runners in Michelle Cox and on deck Shannon Keevers, they're going to need to get every bit out of their legs to plate some runs and keep the New South Wales side alive.
Two away here, bottom 7. Count 1-1. Cox searching for her first hit of the game. Nice pitch there. Down and away, not too far off. Certainly a ball, but a good nibble.
Taking a look on the replay, looks like the infield, Charlize Callahan and Maddie Scott really wanted that one. Bouncing around, ready to run off, but home plate umpire Stuart Tyler says no.
Cox turning on that one. Fouled back. Both pitchers doing well to go the full 7 innings. No pitching changes here today. Both aces on the mound. Getting their work in. Looking for a ticket to the grand final. 2-2 pitch. Swung on over to shortstop. Scott sends it over with a nice hard throw. And South Australia with a 4-1 win, booking their ticket to the grand final tomorrow here at Gels Park. New South Wales, after finishing on top, 11 wins from 12. will have to face off the winner of our next game tomorrow in an elimination final.
First team in, you got to be in it to win it. So booking their place in the Gilley's Shield final, as we see Maddie Scott accelerates through the throw there, gave it everything in the South Australian infield. With a good amount of celebration, obviously not too much. They know they've got one more job to go, but still, you're always happy when you make it through.
Nice game there from both sides. Obviously, New South Wales dominant, holding the lead through 5. A full runner-uption from the South Australian team there, bringing it to 4-1, maintaining that lead for the rest of the game and booking their ticket to the final. So stick around. It'll only be 25 minutes until our next game begins. Queensland and Victoria, the 3-4, shaping off. The winner playing New South Wales tomorrow morning in the elimination final. The loser, that'll be the end of their campaign, Shane.
Just taking a look at some of the game highlights, and obviously the big one there, the 3-run shot from Brianna Marcelino. Inner left field on top of the gazebo out there.
Very pumped up, as she should be. Turned this game on its head.
Like we said, the energy from the South Australian dugout was huge, and not too many things that can get your team pumped up, like a 3-run shot to put you in the lead.
So, local time 9:35 here. Roughly a 10 p.m. start, I'm assuming. Stick around. Won't be too long till our next game.
Put the kettle on, get yourself a nice warm drink to settle in on either a night on the couch watching on big screen or wherever you're watching it on your phone.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you shortly.